Now the moment you've all been waiting for. The royal hostess with the mostest. The queen bee with the money, honey.
Beeplus.
That's right. And it's time you all bow to the real queen bee.
Here she comes, the most beautiful bee in the universe.
You're stealing all the bees just because you're jealous?
No, that's just a bonus. My actual plan is to capture all the queens. Their hives will then have no choice but to follow me.
All right. Hey, guys. Let's see. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you all again. Let's see. This isn't going to be a terribly long live because there's just a lot going on right now. And I know a lot of people are anxious to kind of see about that kind of stuff. I didn't want to miss out on this because I know that. Let me see, everybody. Hi, Audrey. Hi, Kelly Ann. And if I missed anybody else, I didn't expect so many people in here already. That's awesome. So yeah, I didn't want to miss out on this because I took the weekend off, and I did it for a lot of reasons. First and foremostly because, hey, Dave. Because we had a huge snowstorm where I am. And when I mean huge, I mean huge. I couldn't open my doors, like, at all. So I haven't seen this much snow here, in many, many years. Hey, Billy. Hey, Irish Crime and Coffee Time. I still want to say that backwards. So hello, Jur. And so I've been, like, kind of preoccupied with that. And then, you know, I was doing all my homework and stuff. And plus I just kind of needed some time to process things and figure out what I'm doing here and how I want to handle certain things. And if anybody read my live, hey, Amanda, my live description, I don't think I updated it since the night I was planning on doing it. So if it doesn't make sense, that I apologize. But yeah, here's the thing. So I do believe that Natasha is sick, and I don't believe in kicking anybody when they're down. So I'm not necessarily going to talk too much. I mean, obviously she's doing a live that's like kind of, I don't know, very interesting right now. So, hey, Mrs. Jersey Shore. Yeah, we're still digging out as well. So obviously, like, you know, I might have to comment on that on my thing tonight. But I have a lot of other things that I wanted to talk about. And I just need to take a break and a step back to kind of figure out, like, what I'm doing, and not necessarily like where I stand, but where I want to go from here and how I want to approach things. Because I don't think there's just one right way to, I did, Audrey. And I'm not going to comment on that until because I like to see both sides of the story. So, I'll probably speak on that tonight just because, I know Natasha is live at the moment, and I'm not sure. I just came on here and I feel like I don't know if she's like trying to prove her side, and I'm open to looking at that before I speak on it. So I don't want to comment on that quite yet. But you know, obviously I will later because I think that that's an important thing to talk about a little bit. But I mean, enough has been going on this weekend that, like, Lord, we certainly have plenty of things to talk about. And I don't think there's one right way to approach, like, having a channel or like, yeah, Audrey, I definitely will be addressing it tonight, though. I just want to hear what she has to say. Just, you know, because if, you know, just for my own, I'm a curious person. I like to know everything. So you know, because I don't want to sound misinformed. I'm sure I might come to the same conclusion, but you know, I want to hear it. So, you know, I don't think there's one right way to handle things. And I think a lot of the stuff that's going on, like, I'll touch on, but I don't necessarily want to be a part of it. And the reason for that is that a lot of the people that are in this community here, which I like to think that we have a community here, and I think we have something really special. A lot of people are involved in other communities, and a lot of people, when they're fighting, I just want to, like, take my own step out of it and see things for kind of how it is, and not put, like, you know, friendships or feelings or anything attached to that. I like to see things kind of objectively. And, you know, I could say a lot about that. I kind of just wanted to come on here and kind of give an update on things that are going on with, you know, I did do a live the other day about, you know, something that's really important to me, that being the troubled teen industry. So I did have to edit part of that video, and here's why. So the school that I am speaking out about is trying to strike me, because they don't want me talking. They want me to be quiet. I have heard that they're ruthless with this, but I didn't quite know how ruthless. But I'm not going to stop talking. I'm not gonna keep my mouth shut. That's not my nature. I'm gonna continue to do these things, and I'm gonna continue to speak. And that's a lot of what we're gonna cover tonight. Tonight's gonna be a much longer live. Not only are we gonna discuss what's going on right now, because I want to catch up on that, but we're also gonna talk a little bit about that because I'm not gonna be quiet. And I really they can try and make me quiet all they want, but it's not gonna happen. So yeah, I mean, I didn't realize like quite what a ruthless game I was getting into with that, but I mean, I know now. Yeah. Oh, they do. Well, Liberty, they don't want me speaking about it. Because they're still in operation at one of their locations, and they're about to get a lot of bad press, and it's coming, and they know it. So plus they've dealt with my family for a while now. And I'm not sure if they figured out who I am. Probably not. I don't have my name on here, but they don't like, I heard from somebody who actually is really big. They're not so much on TikTok, but like I've heard from a few people that they're not going to let me talk about this. So I have to tread carefully about how I do this, but they don't call me Tenacious B for no reason. No, they absolutely don't. And I've been silent for, a really long time, and I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to stop. It's time for me to do this, and that's why I'm here. What else was I going to say today? So yeah, that's more on that like later today. That's when I want to address kind of everything. I know there's a lot going on in the community. I know that this weekend has been quite a roller coaster. And I had a whole bunch to say about it, and I had it all worked out, and then I kind of got distracted with something else. So now I'm like, I don't know. I don't like the fact that, a lot of this community, and I don't even know if it's like, okay, what I want to do here, right? It is my story to tell. And not only is it my story to tell, but this is something that's happening right now. And I fully intend to, like, I might not have a big platform. I know I don't have a big platform, but clearly I have a voice, and clearly, they're hearing it. And I hope that other people will. I'm going to start using the hashtag, even though it brings more attention to me. And, if somebody else has a story to tell, I want them to be able to use my platform too, to come up here and tell their story, because I know for a fact that there are people that have had way worse experiences than me, who are contemplating saying something, but they don't have a YouTube channel. And, I want to be able to be that for them. And if somebody like, if I reach one person who has either gone through something similar and now knows that they're not alone, hey, Vertigal, or, maybe somebody who's considering sending their child to something like this, and, what I say makes them have second thoughts, I've done my job. And that's, and the other direction I kind of want, and I want your guys' input on this. So, I'm a true crime buff, and I'm really into true crime stuff. Hey, Kels Bells. I'm really into like stuff that's like, unsolved mystery type stuff, or just like really interesting rabbit holes to go down. And I am definitely open to anything you guys are interested in. So if they're, actually, let me put my email down at the bottom there. Hold on. There we go. So if you guys are interested in anything that, like, there's a case you've had your eye on that you're interested in, I should have my email on this one. It's my name at gmail.com. Okay, there it is. Okay, good. I didn't know if this is the one that had it on it. But yeah, any cases that you think are interesting, because like a lot of stuff like, doesn't get covered here on YouTube. There have been some things that I've been super interested in where I go look for it and I can't really find much content on it. And so if you guys have any cases that you want to hear me discuss or deep dive into, because I will go all the way down that rabbit hole and I will find a way to present it. If there's something that you're really passionate about and maybe you want to come up on panel and talk about with me, I'm down with that too. Just send me an email. Thank you, Liberty. And let me know. And it can be like weird rabbit hole stuff too, like any like weird unsolved mystery or phenomena or anything like that. I'm down to go down, like, and I mean, I can't do everything, but if there's something that I see that multiple people are interested in, I'll try to do that one first. But there's so many cases that just don't either get any attention and I want to do that. That's what I want to do. I love true crime. And I don't want to cover just the same cases that everyone else is covering, even if it's what's popular. Because, I want to offer something different. That's kind of what I want to do. I mean, there's enough people covering certain cases, and, I want to do something else. So if you guys have any suggestions, this could be missing persons, anything, you name it, send me an email, and we can let me know if it's something that a lot about and you want to come up on panel and, be part of it. Please let me know that as well. Because I would be more than happy to have you up here. Because I do want to take this channel in that kind of direction as well. Because I don't want to just talk about Natasha, and I don't want to just talk about other creators, even though I'm going to, because I'm allowed to, because I can. And that's it's as simple as that. Because I'm allowed to comment on things that, that happen here that, either people here want to talk about, or that, I feel that I should say something. And I intend to do that. Loads of cases that get forgotten, or loads of cases that, I might think are super interesting, but I look for it and nobody's covered it. So, there's a lot of them like that, at least for me, but I want to give you guys what you guys want to see. That's my goal. Cause if I'm talking about something that nobody here cares about, then, that's not entertaining or interesting or informative to anybody. So yeah, just definitely let me know if there's a topic, and it can be weird, true, unexplained, freaky, unsolved, anything in that genre. And we can talk about it. And nothing is too crazy for me. Trust me. I am definitely open. Like I said, I like to get all information. So, even if something people might laugh at you for thinking the theory that you do, share it with me. I mean, I am totally all about just looking at things in a different way than, most people. Even though one of my favorite sayings is, if you hear hoofbeats in Central Park, think horses, not zebras. So usually the most obvious answer is kind of usually more times out of not what it is. But, it's always, I think, sometimes it's not. And yes. Okay. Well, I have people now. I have people now to do this. Or I can. Let's see. And as you might notice, I do have a mod, and I do have somebody else as well that I am talking to hopefully get on board with that. So that's awesome, because that takes a lot of the stuff off of my hands doing that, so I can focus more on talking to you guys. So yeah, this weekend, I think there was a lot of emotions running high. I think there was a lot going on that subs felt either really torn up about, or either that, or just, really upset or about one way or another. And I want to be clear. I don't, are you saying hello to me? I clicked on this. I'm confused. Can you not hear me? Is there, I'm confused. I'm trying to read here. I just wanted to, I want to make it clear. I'm not here to bash anybody. And I hate the fact that, when you talk about something, or you comment on something, or you don't agree with something, people take that as you're not a friend, or you don't like them. And I don't think that's fair. So here's the deal, guys. I could like somebody very, very much, as a person, and not agree with behavior. And I'm allowed to comment on that. See, I don't want an echo chamber. If I'm doing something wrong, or not even wrong, or just something that bothers somebody. Oh, okay. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night. So, right. I don't want people to think that it's because I don't like them, or suddenly I'm against them. And I feel like that happens a lot here. And I feel like, if somebody, because if I'm doing something that bothers you, I want to know, please send me an email and say, you know what, you did this in your life today and it bothers me. I really I can't make everybody happy. I want to put that out there. So, I can't, hey, Renee, I can't, always, promise that I'm going to agree with you or anything. But the last thing that I want is anybody to feel like I don't I don't care or I'm not listening. But, you know, if there's something that I'm legitimately doing that's really like, you know, bothering people or making someone uncomfortable, like, please tell me. I don't bite. And I'm not going to like take it. I might, we're humans. So sometimes we'll be like, we might take things a little bit personally, but like when I step back and think about it, I don't, because it doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean that somebody doesn't like me as a person. It just means they don't like something that I'm doing. And I think those two things are very different. And I think that those lines are getting blurred. Like I said last week, I received an email from, of course, they don't use their name that they use on here. So I have no clue. I wish I brought a drink in here with me. I have no clue who sent it. But what it said was, I need to be careful about where I comment because I'm going to lose subs. And I don't think that's fair to put on somebody, because I don't dislike anybody. Like I dislike Natasha, but that's just because that's what I have a lot of experience with. And like, I don't disagree with everything or dislike everything that she does. And I've been very open about that. I don't just see everything it's not like voting a straight ballot for me. Like, I'm not going to like just check off everything because it goes under a belief. You know what I mean? Hey, Froggy. And I'm not just not going to do that. So for me, it's like, right, don't take anything personal. And that's the thing. Not everybody has tough skin, and, including myself. Like, I'm not like invincible. Like, the reason things don't bother me on here, and in my real life, sure. But on here, at the end of the day, I stand by what I say. And I know that I've done nothing wrong. So I will shut that computer off. And if people have an issue, or else I know that I did something. But if nobody tells me, hey, Irvin, right, there's a lot of lines in the sand being drawn. And it's not just on one channel. It's not just with one creator. It's a big situation that's really being contributed to by a lot. And I'm not pointing the finger at anybody in particular, because I am Switzerland here. Like, I'm not gonna, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm just here to talk about what I'm seeing, because I think a lot of people feel a certain way about it. Or a lot of people have asked me what I think about it. That's also true. I've gotten a few emails of people asking me what I think about what's going on, because they're curious. And as a creator, because I wanted to speak on it a little bit in any way that I feel comfortable. I think a lot that has been said already, and I'm not gonna go over that, because most of us kind of witnessed what happened, and I don't actually even know everything, because I'm actually not subscribed to a lot of like smaller channels, so I don't know everybody who's involved in all of this. I do know some of it, but here's the thing, and I know this is going to be a very, very unpopular opinion, and I really, really hope we can all be adults and kind of, you don't have to agree with me, but just hear me out here. Let's say, and let's say a creator puts out a video, right? And they say things in that video that, might be geared towards a particular person, but you watch that video and you agree with some of the things that they're saying. Now, not all of the things. There are many, you don't have to agree with everything somebody says. But to tell me that people are allowed to agree with things that they, you know what I mean? I don't, and I've seen people, be told that they're against somebody, and I'm not talking about anybody specifically. I'm talking about things with with Natasha as well, guys. Like, I've seen it there as well. Like, you say one thing that agrees with somebody. Like, if someone was to say something that agrees with me, for example, like, there are people that'll jump on that person and be like, well, that means that you're not on our side entirely, and now you support that person and you can go stay over there. And I don't think that's right. I don't, because there are a lot of people that don't agree with me on everything, but maybe I make a point that, resonates with them. Why can't they say that? I'm not, if somebody was to do that with me, at the end of the day, I don't think I would take that very personally, because I know that people, you can't silence somebody like that. People are, that's what we're here for, to have a discussion, to kind of, you know, we're all allowed to have different opinions. Now what we can't do is, you know, take it to another level where it's become, you know, abusive or intrudes on somebody's real life. You know what I mean? Like, you're allowed to have an opinion, but you're not allowed to, I mean, unfortunately you are allowed, but in my mind and my personal code of ethics, I don't like when people abuse each other. You're not allowed to take it to that level. I don't like people being nasty to each other. Right, Angela. I agree. And that's kind of where my stance is on that. I will comment on these things, but it doesn't mean that I'm on anybody's side or not on some, like, you know, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go into this much more tonight, guys. And I'm being vague for a reason. And it's just because I actually can't be on here too long. I have to, there's somebody who needs my laptop, but, you know, I'm going to go into it much more. But the thing is that, like, you know, I like to think that people know that I like them and that I don't have anything against them personally. But if I see behaviors, and it's not just, I'm not targeting any one person, because I think this weekend we all saw behaviors on a lot of different channels that were problematic. It's not just one person. I saw it on many. And I feel like it's my right to comment on that. Now, you don't have to agree with me. Right. The problem is that people need to be right. Exactly. And I don't think it's that black and white. Like, you know, the world isn't black and white. A lot of the time there's that gray in between that, you know, is all subjective, I guess. And that's kind of where I'm standing on this, guys. Like, you know, I'm not gonna, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. I hope that people don't come at me for having a voice and saying things, and you're allowed to disagree with me respectfully. And I get that a lot of people might, and I understand that, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm not going to judge you for it. I'm not going to snap back at you. I'm not going to say nasty things about you. I mean, you're totally cool. I'm not going to think any differently of you. I'm still going to welcome you in here. I'm not going to treat you any differently for having a different opinion than I do. Or else it's on something that, you know, I am fundamentally against, which has nothing to do with drama on this community. It has to do with, you know, just things that I stand for socially that I will not have in my chat. Or on my channel. And I think we can all kind of figure out what those things are. You know, that I might feel a little differently about you. And, you know, if you were to come in here and, let's say, you know, just, you know, drop some really racist nonsense. Right. And I haven't Irish Crime and Coffee Time, but that's the thing. I don't think a lot of people are meaning to say things that are meant to be offensive. I think some people are just voicing what they see. And it's being taken offensively by, you know, people in the chat. For them personally, I've seen it everywhere. And I feel like a lot of it is just like, a lot of the time people take things very, very, very personally, and myself included. I'm not immune to that. You know, there have been times that there have been things said that I take personally, but I have to think about it. I take a step back and I'm like, you know, first of all, you guys don't, like, we're strangers on the internet for the most part. Like, we don't know each other. Things get misinterpreted through text all the time. Like, think of, like, let's take, for example, the dreaded okay response from a text message. People hate that because that can mean anything. Like, you know, you can't hear tone of voice or see facial expressions, or else, like, the creator, you know, is on camera. I mean, and even then, you know, we don't see each other in the chat. So a lot of times things get misconstrued. And I think we've seen that things certainly get screenshotted out of context. And then they get, you know, given to somebody who doesn't like that, and it flies like wildfire is fact. And we've seen that time and time again. And nobody even bothers to stick around to see how that comment is handled. They don't care about that. They just care about getting that one thing that they can take and run with and, like, stir up a whole bunch of stuff. And I don't like that. And we do have the right to speak it on here, Irish Crime. We do, juror. And it is not, that's the thing though, for me, like, I think my biggest flaw here, it's not that I care what people think of me. It's, I'm an empathetic person and I care about people's feelings. And I know that I should probably separate that on here, but sometimes it's hard because actually many of these people, but believe it or not, like, are people that, you know, as much as somebody on the internet can be considered a friend, or is somebody I do consider, like, not a friend, but somebody I like. And nobody ever wants to wants to do that. But at the same time, if I'm up here, talking about one thing and then ignoring other, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. And unfortunately, I feel like, maybe it will rub people the wrong way, but you're right, there are. And it's ridiculous. Like, how many times have we seen something screenshotted that didn't even have to do, or like, something, an audio clip or something. And then, people share that as fact, and nobody bothers to go look at, like, where the context of it. And that's how these big things happen. Like, some story that somebody was swatted, and, then everybody gets all mad because they're like, well, look at what these people are doing. They're swatting somebody. And it's not true. That didn't happen. Like, and then it gets all out of control and everybody gets really involved and angry. And I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. I hate saying it like this because I myself have way too much free time on my hands. But, it gets to a point where, well, let's see. It is. I get it. Well, if Dark Magician, if somebody was to see my intro, they might believe that I feel that way, of feeling that there can only be one queen in the beehive. But I think it's satire. That's why I put it in there. Yeah, I always forget that I can do this. I think it's like satire for me, because I think that there's room for everybody, and we all channels to watch. I think that we all, like, everybody that's on here does things a little bit differently. I don't see any creators on here doing the exact same thing. And, the fact of the matter is that we all do share a lot of similar subs. I see a lot of people in here that I see on a variety of different channels. And, there are definitely people that I don't know on other people's channels as well. Like, I'm not saying we share all the same people, because that's not true. But there are a lot of people that are very, very, very active in a lot of different chats. And I think that that's healthy. That's a good thing. If you like what the creator offers, then why not? And I think a lot of us go into the chats because we see people that we like. And I do. I know I've gone into chats of creators that I have no idea who they are. And, I have no clue who these people are. And I see somebody I know and I enjoy chatting with them. So I'll go in. And have there been times that it happened to be a creator that, I kind of wish I hadn't been? Yeah, that's happened a handful of times, but not often. So, I just want everybody to, I'm tired of the screenshots, especially of, like, chats, guys. Like, it makes people paranoid to participate. And I feel like that's why a lot of us are on YouTube to begin with. But it's hard when you feel like, you might happen to be in a screenshot. And maybe it's not even something that you were being screenshotted of. Like, but like, nobody, you know what I mean, guys? Like, I remember the first time I saw my name in a screenshot, it had nothing to do with me. I just happened to be in it. And I remember it did kind of rub me the wrong way. I'm like, dude, like, what? I don't know. I feel like, if we're talking in this chat, like, there's a chat replay for a reason. Like, if I'm never going to, I deleted one once, and it was only because my video wasn't uploading, and I was mad about it. So I thought maybe if I removed the chat, it would upload. But, other than that, I'm not going to be deleting chats here. So if anybody ever wants to see the context of things or what's going on, I am all about transparency. If there's something you need to see, feel free to email me and I will show you whatever you need to see. That, isn't, within reason. Like, I'm not going to delete things. I don't want to delete videos. I don't want to delete chats. I think that's unfair, because somebody made a point the other day, and I forget who it was. I think it might have been two people I've seen say it. But, here's the thing. Like, let's say, a lot of the time, how many times do we go and we hear a creator clap back at somebody, right? And we go back to kind of look at the context, and we can't find the video that they're even talking about. So it makes it look like that person's kind of crazy. I'm not down with that, because then, like, I don't know. Like, if you're up here and you're saying things, I feel like you should stand behind it. And I've been open about what I think the exceptions to that could be. But if I say something on here, I'm not going to take it down because I said it. And, or else it's something that, I had misinformation about. And even in that case, I'll just go back on it and I'll say, you know what, guys, I spoke without knowing all the information, or new information has come to light, and I wanted to let you all know that I was wrong. And I've said that. There was once that I said that that she had to have other people, Natasha had to have other people doing the her other channels with the AdSense and stuff. That's not correct. It turns out you can have as many channels as you want under, one name. So I said that. I said, you know what? Okay, I was wrong, guys. I assumed, I didn't know, and I took it back. But yeah, I mean, some creators do, and that's what I'm trying to say here, guys. What I'm trying to say is that while I will still comment, let's see, I too got in the drama. I'm fine highlighting that because that's right. I agree with you. I do. I think, and I've been open about that. And I know this is also an unpopular opinion, which is okay. You don't have to agree with me on this. I understand that some people feel more hurt than others. I understand that some people maybe even know more information than I do. And, we can agree to disagree. But based on the information I have and what I've seen, I don't like a lot of the stuff that I've seen towards Natasha either. I don't. And I've been open about that since day one. I also did not like how I was behaving. And you're right. And, and it's that's the thing, guys. Like, when I received that text message that I got, that was like really mean, I immediately knew it was from YouTube. And here's why. I don't have anybody in my real life that, I have any really bad blood with. I like to work things out. I'm not really a confrontational person for the most part, or else I have to be. But I don't treat people poorly, and imagine that I don't really get treated poorly. And I know, crazy concept, but I agree. Right. Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of the time though, like, it goes both ways. Like I've said, we're never going to figure out what came first, the chicken or the egg. Like, Natasha has had people that don't like her for a very, very, very long time for a variety of different reasons. And right, I don't hate anyone either. I mean, I dislike some. That's what I like to say. I can't, hate is a strong word. Hate is a really strong word. And while I think that there are times where it is appropriate, I have yet to find, well, I'm not going to say I haven't. Okay, that's a lie. I have found uses for it in my own life, but not here on the internet, because we really don't, I've been open about this. I don't care for Natasha. I don't like what I have seen, but I also don't like what I have seen towards her either. Now, I know that she has a lot of people that don't like her and at what point do you stop to think to yourself, why is it that everywhere I go, people end up not liking me? Now, could jealousy have some part of it? Sure. This isn't my first social media rodeo. I had a platform on Instagram. I had almost 129,000 followers before behind the scenes technicality nonsense took me down. And jealousy it's one hell of a drug. It is. It's very real, but do I think that explains why like everything happened? No, absolutely not. You have to be able to take a look and be like, well, what am I doing that, maybe encourages this stuff to happen to me? And then, once you figure that out, it's your choice whether you want to change it or not. But that's what I'm saying. Just take some accountability. Like, I hate that, like, the finger gets pointed and nobody wants to openly admit, I'm doing something wrong. And, the first person who actually comes out and does that, I will, they will get a huge, huge amount of respect from me. And I'm not talking about apologizing for things because there's something in it for you either. Right. I own it. Right. And the things that right. Angela, I agree. And I think that's what's drawn a lot of us to YouTube lately, is because we're not able to go out and socialize, many of us the way we used to. A lot of our jobs have been a lot of us have lost our jobs. A lot of us, are now working at home, and that was my social time for in a lot of ways. And it was my time out of the house anyway. And I think a lot of us come on here for that connection and to hang out. And then with, with everything that's going on in the world, even more so now. And I was shocked that I got caught up in a lot of the stuff that I did because it was so out of character for me. And I had to really take a look because I did things. I did. And, that brings me into your comment, Juror, is that, anything that I have said behind the scenes now, which I have said nothing horrible. I have not said anything horrible, like, but anything, anytime I have mentioned somebody, that it wasn't, necessarily appropriate. I've actually gone to them privately and I have said to them, I'm sorry. And here's what I said. And it doesn't always make me look like a good person, let me tell you. But at the end of the day, I want to be upfront and honest with people. That's important to me. And if they choose to forgive me, which I believe that they have, I'm pretty sure all of them. I guess it wasn't anything too terrible, but that's not for me to decide how somebody takes something. I agree, the behind the scenes, and it's very real. And unfortunately, guys, it's not unique to here. It's not because people here are, particularly problematic. It happens everywhere you go. But in some degrees worse than others. And it's getting kind of crazy here. And, I see it on a lot of different sides. And it's like, I just feel like it's leading to distrust amongst people that are not even creators at this point. And I don't like it. I don't like it. And that's why I have tried to go to people, but I also want to make it clear that, if I don't like something, it is not my responsibility to come to you personally to announce my departure either. I just don't I don't want to swear. It's a little early for me to start swearing. But I just don't mess with you. I just don't involve myself if I'm not agreeing with something. I'm not going to go and announce it to everybody. Because, how many times have we heard that, this is social media. It's not an airport. You don't need to announce your departure. And I truly believe that you don't. Because 9 times out of 10, nobody cares. But so I also don't feel like, I need to do that either, which, right. Dark Magician, you are absolutely right. And I expect it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you can't say it in my chats because I'm not going to say that. If you do it appropriately, I'm not going to say it. But if you have an issue with something that I'm saying in my live, please, I encourage you to email me. It's right across there, beeplus44@gmail.com. And I could play I could Liberty Farmer, but I probably get struck. I've thought about it. Actually, I almost did a few times, but then I'm like, but I'm not monetized anyway, so I don't know. Maybe I will. But yeah, that's the thing. If you have an issue or you don't, please email me. I don't bite. I'm actually a very, very nice person. I'm not gonna come at your throat. I'm certainly not gonna drag you publicly, and I'm certainly not gonna treat you any differently. Or else you're really horrible to me, in which case, I'm not going to take that lying down. I'm not going to roll over. That's not who I am or how I am either. You're not going to come at me with, vile nonsense and expect me not to stand my ground. That's not going to happen. But if you come at me appropriately and you're like, hey, and I've been open, I'm going to say, my name's Emma. If you're like, hey, Emma, you said this in your live and I don't quite agree with you and it made me uncomfortable. And I'll listen. I get emails, it's kind of amazing. I'd rather right. I agree. And I like to do things head on and proactively. I try to be a good person. And like I said, it's not going to win me brownie points here. It's not going to grow my channel incredibly quickly. It's not going to do any of that. However, I do think what I'm doing with the troubled teen industry, give it time, guys. There's things coming. That's going to be big news. There's a Netflix thing. It's going to be a big topic pretty soon. It's already big on TikTok. And I think that, and I plan to welcome that community here. And I know that that's not really what you guys are here for, but that's the thing. We're going to be doing a lot of different things here. We're going to do a lot of true crime, a lot of discussion of weird things. And I'm going to comment on the things in my surroundings, which, happens to be something we all have in common here. Yeah, and like I said, guys, I want to thank you, Liberty. I'm gonna preface that. I want people to know, don't feel pressured. I also don't have an issue with people doing this either. So I actually want to make a comment on that because there seems to be a heated debate, and anybody is welcome to how they feel about this particular issue. And if I start to do it, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's going to do it their own way. I don't disagree with people monetizing. I think that's fine. I think it's, if you get to 1,000 subs and you get the watch hours that you need to do that, that's an accomplishment. That's an achievement. And it's not like YouTube pays an awful lot. Now, what I'm not going to do, and I'm not monetized, guys, so I can't receive super chats as much as I still get a kick out of that comment. There was somebody who commented on one of my videos. They were like, you're on here on lives for all of these hours and you haven't received one super chat. Wow, what a loser. And I was like, oh, dude, like, I'm not monetized, so I wouldn't be receiving super chats, but okay, thank you. Nice try. Right. And so here's the thing. So I'm okay with people having, like, a PayPal or a Cash App or whatever. Like, I get that. And I do. I did not have one, but I do now. And I've been really open about that. If my cat does need some significant dental surgery, and I recently lost my main income, and I agree with you, Jer. I know that you guys do. Hi, AJ. I know that we discussed this yesterday over, like, well, it was mentioned, and kind of people were throwing their 2 cents over on Dorothy's channel. And I totally, I get where you're coming from too as well. And I know a lot of people feel that way, and I respect that. And I just, I think it's up to the creator. What I'm not going to do, and I agree with you, I don't think there should be fundraising the way Natasha does it. I don't agree with that. And that's my opinion. And I've seen it elsewhere, not so much in this community, but I've definitely seen other people doing it. And I don't like that at all. I think that that's not how it's supposed to be used. I mean, you do. So YouTube does take a cut, and actually, it might've been you, Jer, who said it yesterday. And you actually made me think of it a little bit differently. I hadn't thought of it the way that somebody put it. I believe it was you yesterday, that, what you're doing. Right. But Jer, I think it was you that made me think of it in this way yesterday. And it made me think. So, at first I was like, you know what, I don't have an issue with that because, YouTube is this giant, company, and, screw them. And, I get that. But, I think you put it as like, it's a free platform, and, you're making money off of this, and it's kind of like paying like a service fee, to be here. And I'm pretty sure it was it was some sort of sentiment like that. So correct me if I'm wrong, but that makes sense. It does make sense. And I'm not as like super against it as I was feeling, because it does make sense. You are using this platform. And as much as they do I'm sure the cost of keeping up with YouTube is like incredibly high. You know what I mean? And I know that I'm not gonna speak poorly of that. I get it. Oh, really? Okay. All right. I didn't know it was her that said that. I don't know where. I feel like it was mentioned in Dorothy's chat yesterday, but I didn't remember seeing her. But if it was her, then I credit to her for that statement then, because it made me think, and I agree. And I don't like. I don't want my link dropped over and over again, but at this point in time, like, I do social media for a living as my, like, kind of like a side hustle at this point, because it's what I'm doing, because I'm a full-time grad student as well. And I had to learn how to be able to accept money like that, because I've never wanted to. Like, I would always, like, be uncomfortable with people offering me money up front. Like, I want to earn it, and I don't want. But I got, hey, Michelle, and I got screwed over that way. So I kind of had to, because I'm more than happy to do things for free, but if you're providing somebody with a service, and for what I see YouTube as, for a lot of cases, it is like a creator. Like, if you're making videos, there's a lot of time that goes into making videos, guys. Like, it's no small feat. Even like some of the small short ones, it takes a lot of time. And a lot of it, I believe, is like it's called a creator for a reason. Now, do I think that everybody? All right, bye, Jer. I'm good. I'm glad you stopped in. I always like seeing you in here. I like you a lot. And I think that a lot of the time, like, not everybody. I think some people come up here and don't really offer much, but a lot of people do offer something, and that's how people kind of give back. So it's like almost like tipping for like an artist or something. Or like, think of it this way. When we go to the movies, we pay. We pay for the ticket, or we pay for cable, or we pay for a streaming service, or to rent a movie, or so on and so forth. So I've had to look at it that way. So I am if that makes me a hypocrite for dropping my link every so often, because I'm not monetized, and this is I don't have as much income as I used to, so be it. Then I'm a hypocrite. But I'm not doing fundraisers. I'm not making. I think what I'm doing is different. And if you disagree with me, by all means, that's fine. It's fine as well. You can email me and we can discuss it. But as a full-time grad student, I mean, I don't know if it's nuts, guys. It's nuts. I didn't expect to lose my income either. So, and I used to do quite well for myself, and I used to super chat people quite frequently, and that's the thing. You never know what life is bringing. So, I'm definitely not gonna just think of how much more water. Yeah, exactly. Oh, with my dry mouth, yeah, I got these lozenges. Guys, Irish Crime and Coffee Time has a really great channel. You might know them as Jur from Dorothy's channel, and she has it's a relatively new channel. I don't think she's been on too long, but she has a really great channel if you want to check it out. Definitely do that. So she's basically focusing on crimes that happened in Ireland, which a lot of us haven't heard of over here, especially in the States. And she does a really good job. So if you're into true crime, I would definitely go check it out. That's the thing. I'm just a small channel, so I don't know how much good I can do if but I am all for plugging people. You got my email, Michelle? Okay, good. Okay. All right. I'm glad. But yeah, so I'm all for like helping out other people. I mean, I know that I might not have much of a voice, but I do have a voice, and I am honored that like 200 to 300 people like watch my stuff. Like, ultimately that's crazy to me. And I mean, the amount of watch hours that I have, guys, like I'm over 1,000 hours of watch time, and that might not seem like a lot to some people, but that's 1,000 hours of people listening to me talk, and I couldn't be more honored. That's great. Like I spent my entire life being told I'm hard to understand and hard to listen to. So, the fact that people here disagree and think otherwise, you've actually helped me mentally grow past that. And I appreciate it, guys. I think it's just because with my ADD, a lot of the time I'm all over the place and everywhere, especially if I'm talking passionately about something. I don't make sense a lot of the time. And the person who says this about me is usually somebody who is talking to me when I'm very upset. So I can see how she might feel that way. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate that. I've heard that a lot from you guys, and that actually, like, it makes me smile because I've never been told that before. But yeah, like I said, I like the people that come in here. Everybody that comes in here has been respectful, and I can't even like thank you guys enough for that. Because I know a lot of you guys feel very strongly about certain things. I recognize a lot of the names, and I know a lot of you guys feel differently than I do on some certain topics, but you're in here and you're participating, and that just shows that like we are capable of being adults here. Like we can understand that just because somebody doesn't agree with something that we do doesn't mean that we don't like them or we're against them or we're out to get them. It just means we don't agree with something. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't expect everybody to agree with me either. I don't want everybody to, because I'm not going to be able to grow. I don't want to be on here and make people feel uncomfortable, like, if it's, in the wrong way, if that makes sense. I know that I'm going to step on toes. I know that I'm going to say things people don't like. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is. And there are some things I'm just not going to apologize for. I'm just not going to do that. Because there are some things that I'm very dead set on in my mind. And there are things that I stand for, such as I don't like bullying. I don't like bringing people into things that don't need to be brought into things. I don't like the real life stuff. I hate that, actually. And that is happening far too often. And it's really, really disturbing, guys. Like, we should not be doing that at all. And, you know, as small of a creator and as much of a nobody as I am, I've even received stuff that I think was crossing the line. And that just, you know, oh my Lord, guys, like the fact that somebody took the time to text me and to call me and leave a voice message with like some, it has to have been some sort of voice changer because it was all garbled. And it kind of sounded like almost robotic in a way. And I could pick out some words, but a lot of it was like staticky. But I also don't, I'm also not gonna share those things, or else under very, very few circumstances. So if, you know, because I don't, you know, even though like I've said, and I'm going to say it again, and I actually want to have a discussion with you guys because there's a question that I really want to pose to you. And I'm curious to know what everybody thinks because there have been some studies actually going on about this particular topic. And I want to know what you guys think. So the question that I'm asking for you guys is, so there have been some studies that say, you know, to how to best deal with these kinds of things on the internet. So it, you know, there's some studies that have shown that the type of people who go real life are like these super fans of certain creators. And let's be honest, like it doesn't matter if your channel only has any sort of amount. If you've got some sort of charisma and you're up here, you're going to have people that sometimes really take to you, and not always in like a super healthy way. And they're going to, you know, either dislike people that they believe are your enemies, or they're going to cross the line with you personally, especially if it's like a female creator. I think the statistics, it shows it's a little higher, but there are some people, you know, in the psychology field who believe that all they want is to be recognized by somebody. So giving them any time of day by mentioning the act or anything about it in their mind is like an acknowledgement and like a, you know, pat on the back, you know, even if it's not really. So there's one side that says that. And then there's the other side that says that, you know, you should be able to address it. It doesn't make it worse. So I'm really curious because I don't have an opinion one way or another at this point. I think there's validity to both. While I think that nobody should be silenced about what happens to them, because some of this is really serious stuff. But on the other hand, like, are we just doing what they want? Are we giving these people what they want? Because I don't know. I feel like it's a double-edged sword. But I know like there have been some larger creators. Like there's one particular one who has like the world record for the most swats happening to him. And it turned out to be some guy that, you know, was just like, and, you know, for lack of a better word, I'm sorry if this is like inappropriate a little, was kind of like getting off on even being acknowledged by him on his live streams. Like they would be like, you know, he would even mention it. And this guy, it just encouraged him to continue. And, you know, and there's been a couple cases of that. And I was actually I was asking somebody who was kind of in the field for their opinion, and they seem to feel that way too. So I'm interested as to how you guys believe stuff like that should be handled. Right. That's because I'm genuinely like, I don't think that I have no opinion. That's why I was kind of hesitant to even share one of the emails that I got, because the last thing that I want to do is give this person attention if that's what they want. Because no matter what I say, I feel like they're going to take it as it bothered me. It didn't bother me. I actually just feel like it's like the community needs to know that, like, when a creator says they're getting really awful emails like this, they're not lying. Because even I've received one, and I'm going to say it again because it was that disgusting. Hi, Almost Famous. So I received an email. I've received a few emails that are not so nice, but the one that really, really took the cake was from somebody. And of course they don't use their screen names on here. So who knows who it is, but this person typed in all caps, and it said something along the lines, this is not like verbatim, this is probably has a few words switched up here, but you can't miss the mark here. It said, "No wonder you're so concerned with Natasha's money and like what she does with it, because you're Jewish." And I have been very open that I was adopted into a Jewish family, and I've said this like since the get-go. I've been open about it in many chats. And I was just like taken aback. I'm like, never in my life have I actually ever received something like that directed at me. And my jaw kind of hit the floor, and I was like, really? And I immediately, I did screenshot it and I did show my parents because I was just so taken aback. I'm not gonna share it here. First of all, hey, Anxious for Peace. I hope everyone is having a good day too. I do. I'm still kind of snowed in here, but it's sunny at least. So I hope everybody's having a good day. Because I'm having a good day. So, but I was just appalled. I was like, oh my God. And this was like when I first came on here. So I wasn't expecting anything quite like that. I've never received that kind of hate before. I've received, like when I was on Instagram, I received a lot of jealousy hate because that's a thing, guys. Like jealousy does play a part in a lot of these things. I don't think it's entirely what's going on with everything. Not by a long shot. But jealousy does some weird stuff to people, and let me tell you, people act all sorts of ways about being jealous about the stupidest stuff. But that was what Instagram was all about, guys. Like Instagram was just really petty nonsense. And it was all like, oh God. And I would never want to do it again. That's all I'm going to say. I never even wanted to build a platform again. But then when I found out that this thing about the troubled teen industry was about to the roof was about to bust off because of what's coming, I had to. I wanted to tell my story. I want to tell my story before it's told for me. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Because I want it in my words, and I don't know, it's important to me. So, and I'm glad so many people were really interested in that. I'm going to be doing a lot about it tonight. I have to be very careful. Like I said, they tried to strike me. And, unlike other people, I do have a lawyer that I am in contact with who has dealt with this and has been kind of guiding me and giving me suggestions, and I'm working on it. I'm not going to be silenced. So if anybody's rewatching the video that I already posted, you will see that there have been some parts edited from it. I did not edit everything that they wanted me to edit from it. I edited enough for me to have it visible. It doesn't get me out of the water yet. But bizarrely enough, it wasn't, I was commenting about what they're saying, but we have free speech in this country. So if they think that that's going to get it taken down, they're sorely mistaken. And I know it was them because it tells you who did it, in your YouTube studio. And, oh yeah, they sure did, Michelle. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I was told they would, because I was told that this was going to happen. And I thought maybe it was the talk show that I had posted or, whatever. And first it just got a copyright strike, which not like a strike, copyright. There's another word for it. It just means it's so you can't be monetized for it, but I'm not monetized anyway. And actually a bunch of my stuff has that on it, like my concert footage and stuff. So, but you can still watch it. People can still see it. But the next day it got taken down entirely. And yeah, so I didn't do everything, but it wasn't even a part that I was talking about. It's bizarre. I don't know. But I'm fighting it. They're not going to take me down. They're not going to make me quiet. And they have no grounds. Cause I actually had that, the lawyer I'm in contact with, I had them look at the part of it and they're like, you're well within your right. That's free speech. You did commentary. And the only thing that you're mentioning about them is through your own voice. And they can't silence that, but they do try. And I've heard that about them. So I'm going to be very careful with how I do this going forward, but I'm not going to be quiet. And I'm going to tell my story. And we're actually going to tie my story into some true crime stuff that I've been working on with somebody who, well, actually, I'll say it, I have a new mod here, Liberty Farmer. I have another one who I'm going to introduce to you guys probably later tonight. If I remember, which I'm going to try to. Right, Michelle, that absolutely they do. Absolutely. Yep. And they can't silence you for that. We have free speech. But they try because they're still very, very active, and they are still getting families in there. And while the location that I was at has been shut down, they still are active up in Maine, and they are very active on YouTube, and they don't like it. And they know what's coming too. They know. So, but that's too bad. That's too bad because I've been quiet for my entire life. And actually, you guys want to know a really cool follow-up? Are you ready for this? So when I did that live, right? So remember I mentioned there in one point that I had not even told my parents all of the stuff that had happened, or especially with the wilderness program I was at, and that I admitted to things that I never did because they wouldn't let me speak to another human being until they were happy with the things I took accountability for. Now, just so happened that my dad actually subscribes to me, and he happened to click on my live at that time, and I got a phone call the next day, and he's like, "I want you to be honest with me. I didn't know that." So we had a really good conversation about it, and I was able to be open with him about those things, all because he clicked on my live, actually, like, really eerily enough at that exact time. So that was good. It led to and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to lead to these conversations, whether it be like, if somebody here has a loved one that's been through it, like, that's what I want to do, is open up a dialogue. And it is a true crime, but there's also a lot of stuff that's going on there. There's some, and I don't want to spoil it yet, but there's some really shady stuff that's going on all over the country, and there's things that are being, like, really, like, almost swept under the rug. And I know that, Liberty Farmer is really into true crime, and she's been she's really helpful. I mean, like, that's what I keep saying. Natasha's lost with you because you're great. And I know you're really passionate about a lot of these things, which is really nice, because I like the fact that, because I don't know everything. I don't know about a lot of cases. That's why I'm asking for your guys' input. If there's anything that you guys want to see covered, please email me. Whether it doesn't mean, I don't even care how obscure the case is. If it's something that you're really interested in, please let me know. And I'm not just gonna be covering cases, like anything that's like a weird topic. Originally, I wanted to do a true crime book club, and there are some books that have been made into movies that are based on real crimes. Two of them in particular that I'm going to be at least talking about are, so I've posted some videos with clips of it, but there's a movie called Party Monster, and it's based on, like, the club kids and Michael Alec, and he murdered somebody. He recently passed away, I think, in the past year or two. But that, I want to go into that because it's a true crime case, and I want to discuss that just because it's kind of an interesting story. And the other one is based, the movie that, and I don't actually expect many people to even know this movie. This director is very, very known to be controversial, and their movies are very, very, very disturbing. It's a Larry Clark movie called Bully, and it is also based on a true crime story that there is a book of, and I'm going to discuss that case as well because it's really, really interesting, and it's about some kids that murdered a classmate who was basically an abuser, but there's a whole lot of other factors in it, and I want to talk about that because it actually struck a nerve with me recently. You might know Larry Clark from his very controversial movie Kids. If you haven't seen it, I almost don't suggest it. It's heavy. It's heavy. That's all I'm going to say. His movies are heavy and disturbing. But I actually saw that movie while I was at the program that I speak out about. So, because on the weekend we were just watching some movies, like me and some friends, and that was one of them. And it's always stuck with me. And I didn't realize it was based on a real crime. And actually, it's a really interesting one. The other one I really want to talk about is, Sid and Nancy from the Sex Pistols. I want to look at that crime a little bit too. I like a lot of the pop culture reference crimes because I haven't seen a whole lot about that kind of put in a format that I liked on YouTube. And I agree with you, Anxious for Peace. I am also very sick of what happens to so many kids, and that actually is foreshadowing a lot of what Liberty Farmer has kind of, given me as things to look into. I know that a lot of you are familiar with the Xavier Harrelson case. As you guys know, they did find his body. I believe it was a few months ago. A really sad story. And I'm going to I would like to speak on that case a little bit as well, because I believe that he deserves justice. And I'm not as familiar, but Liberty Farmer is very familiar with that case, and we're gonna, and it's near and dear to them, and we're gonna talk about that one as well because it's a sad one. I am still live. Yes, I'm not gonna be. I can't be on 2:30 at the latest. Is when I can. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, but justice for him, exactly. And you may recognize that name. Natasha had done some coverage of that case, and that's really all there might have been one other person that all I know about that case is what I heard from Natasha, and Liberty knows a whole lot about it, so she's kind of filling me in. And like I said, it's really sad, and I believe that it needs to be talked about. It definitely does, and it leads into something else that's going on all over the country that is really, really, really important that gets talked about. Yeah, it did receive very little attention on YouTube, and that's the other thing. I know that Natasha has said that she wants to cover crimes or things that are not getting a lot of news coverage, but I haven't seen her really do that. But that's the thing. I don't want to cover things that other people are already doing, because what's the use in that? Now, let's be honest, guys. How many cases gets like swept under the rug or ignored? And a lot of the time it's for like socioeconomic reasons that are just really sad. But the reality is, guys, is even with the news, it's all about views, ratings. Like it's all about that. And if you're not raking in the views or the ratings, people aren't going to talk about it. And that includes news stories, which is so disturbing. But there are a lot of cases that get swept under the rug through no fault of that person or their family or anything about the circumstances. It's just because nobody. It's really disturbing, guys. And I don't like that. I think there's a lot of cases that we could do some good in, at least discussing it, getting awareness out. I mean, I that's the other big topic I want your guys' opinion on. I want to know what you guys think. Is it okay for YouTubers or social media people to get involved in cases? And to what extent? Because, I know a lot of people I've gotten a lot of emails actually asking me what I think of the Summerwell situation. And like I've been saying, like I'm a full-time grad student. I have a family. I have my, I guess it's a job for lack of a better word. I have a few long-standing clients that I do social media management for and marketing. So I have a very busy schedule, so I haven't been able to keep up with all of the facts there. So while I'm not going to speak on the case, although I do have an opinion as to what happened, but I just want to make sure that there's no new information that would change my view on that. And I don't know if it's really going to be the popular opinion, but it might be. I think more and more people are kind of seeing the light with that. But here's the thing, guys. I don't agree at all. And I'm going to be very firm on this, and there is no convincing me otherwise with what the circus that is going on down there and has been going on with Bullhorn Betty, Molly Golightly, JLR. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I don't think they're doing any good for anything. I don't think they're helping define summer. And there are other YouTubers that I disagree with as well. Yeah. So I think that whole thing is why I would say it's not appropriate to get involved. But at the same time, you look at cases like Luca Magnotta, where social media was really huge in catching him. And also with, the YouTubers, there were the van life vloggers, Red, White, and Bethune, who were the ones who ultimately, in my opinion, were able to bring Gabby Petito, home. Like they were able to lead law enforcement to her body. And I don't think she would have been found as quickly as or even at all, possibly otherwise. So that was a straight up miracle. And I think it's amazing that happened. I agree with you, Amanda. I think they're hindering the case because, I know that in this country and in today's social climate, there's a lot of distrust of law enforcement. There's a lot of strong feelings about law enforcement a lot. And I think a lot of it is valid. There's a lot of crazy, horrible stuff that's going on in this world at all. I think it was Ethan Liberty, but I know what you mean. It could have been Ian. I thought it could be. I have a terrible memory. I thought it was Ethan. Could be Ian. But but I agree. They did say that. They said it was like on the anniversary of his birthday or something. That was just an incredible story. Like, I mean, I'm not saying they should write a book, but like that should be. Oh, it was Ethan. Okay, they should that's like such an incredible story. I still get chill. I'm getting chills right now. But I agree that they're hindering the case, and I think when it comes to these kinds of things, we have to, like detectives, we have to trust that, people are looking for her, and, the authorities are doing the best that they can. I mean, you kind of just have to tell yourself that, I guess, whether, as hard as it is sometimes, because you feel like, but just because you don't see what they're doing behind the scenes doesn't mean nothing's being done. But, I agree with you, though. I think that it's become a complete exploitation. I think a lot of cases are becoming exploitation, and not everywhere. There are definitely true crime channels that do a really respectful coverage of topics and cases, and they do it without going down that road that is sometimes a slippery slope. And I think that's the majority of them. I don't think it's the majority that exploit, but there's definitely some people, especially over in this corner for some reason, that are really exploiting a lot of these, like tragedy pimping. And I didn't even know that was a phrase until recently, but it fits. It fits. These are people profiting off of somebody else's tragedy. They're getting involved in something that they have no business getting involved in. And nothing they're doing is helping to find Summer. And that's what matters. We need to find Summer. And, that little girl deserves to be brought home. In the worst case scenario, she deserves better than what they have. You guys know what I'm trying to mean. I get fairly emotional about that. I actually was surprisingly, guys, and maybe maybe it's not surprising. Maybe I am, more alone than I think in this. But, I remember I was in Natasha's chat for the Petito case, like, for the entire thing. I was very, very active in her chat during that time because I have a lot of opinions on things, and I was really, really interested in that case. But from the get-go, I always disagreed with the quote-unquote protesters. I know a lot of people were like so in support of it. And I was kind of surprised because what are you protesting? Like nothing, like especially with Cassie, Brian Laundrie's sister, like those kids had to hear that. And, like it turns out she didn't have anything. You know what I mean, guys? Like that's not going to help. Screaming and yelling and outside of somebody's home and then recording it and putting on YouTube. Like what are you doing besides making yourself like the center of attention in a story that doesn't involve you? And I don't believe that anything that they did contributed to any of that. In fact, I didn't like it. And I always said that. I got attacked for it as well. Like a lot of people did not agree with me. In fact, there was one time that I think I like super chatted Natasha about it. And she openly disagreed with me. I don't know, maybe because she read the room and didn't want to piss anybody off. But she also liked to interrupt me a lot. That's okay. But that's the thing. Like, I was really active in that chat. I think we had some good discussions. I mean, I don't know. I just didn't think that accomplished anything except making them the center of attention, which they were not. And I don't think that sitting outside somebody's house yelling and screaming is really doing much to have anybody confess. That's not how law enforcement or trained detectives kind of conduct themselves to get people to talk. In fact, there are definitely some like psychological techniques that they teach you that are a lot more effective than that. But that's my belief. That's my opinion. Law enforcement. Yes. And I'm not going to lie. I've been really, really skeptical of not skeptical, but intrigued, I guess, of how vocal Dawn and Candace have been with that whole case. Like something's weird, and I'm not quite sure what. Like I said, I need to catch up on the facts because I don't want to speak to it when I don't know what's currently going on. But I always found that I don't know. There was something off about it. I can't quite put my finger on it. Oh, I'm sure law enforcement is very sick about hearing about YouTube. I'm sure they are. They real try and real hard ones don't do. Yes, right. Anybody with any credibility or integrity, in my opinion, keeps things professional, which means not involving yourself with the people involved in the case. That means not cozying up to like the people involved. You know, you guys know what I'm trying to say. And we saw that with the Watts case. We saw it technically, I guess, with the Petito case, and people going down there and, you know, yelling and screaming about things that had nothing to do with them. And we're seeing it with the Wells here on YouTube. So right, a lot of people are opportunists, and there's actually been some studies that show that a lot of the people that are drawn to YouTube have some very common personality traits. Not all, but some, or a fair amount. And I also appreciated that she did that. Now, I mean, do I think that she did that for reasons that were anything other than she needed content and, you know, had other people come up there and kind of do the lives? I don't know, but there were some people that, you know, went up there that were really insightful. I mean, there were other people that weren't really, but there was definitely, I appreciated it as well, because, you know, there are a lot of people in this community that are quite well spoken and quite intelligent, and I liked a lot of their views on it. I mean, I was up there a few times, and I know the first time I was like stumbling over my words because I was so nervous. Like I'm nervous. That's why I actually don't go on camera. It has nothing to do with I'm embarrassed about anything. Well, I think the only thing I'm embarrassed by, I'll be honest with you guys, is that I did cut my hair a little bit too short in November, and it hasn't quite grown back, like way too short. So I think that's part of it, I guess. But you know, that's who I am. I mean, my pictures are my pictures. So I just prefer my hair longer, but I had grown it way out for my sister's wedding, and it was damaged. It had to go. It had to go. But it's getting there. But I'm also really shy, so I wanted to be able to talk and get used to, you know, being on lives without having to look at myself the whole time. Let's see. It's happening here since. Right, you're not wrong with that too. I'm actually not familiar with the Long case. I know that many creators have covered it. I know it's another big one that people have discussed, especially over in this corner. But I'm not familiar with it, so it's one I probably should look into. I for whatever reason, I was never here when it was being actively covered. I think that was a little bit before I started, you know, engaging in the chats here. Right. No, I definitely did. It definitely did take bravery to go up there. Let me tell you, the second time I went up there, it was a little different, and it was a little easier for me. She did interrupt me though, which I was like, really? And then I kind of felt, I was like, yeah, whatever. But I interrupt people all the time. But yeah, you know, I mean, people can give her crap for it. They can, you know, and I think, you know, what bothers me about the fact that she streamed the news is more so, it's not because she streamed the news. It's because she takes credit for being like the best at true crime, and, you know, she's built her channel on her skill with true crime. That's the kicker for me. But I'm not gonna lie, like that's what drew me into, you know, her. I didn't care for. I mean, the only exposure I had to Natasha prior to the Petito case was her true crime channel before she separated it into like drama and true crime, when she did it all on that one channel. And I didn't care for the drama things. I didn't, you know, what really turned me off was everything with Mandy C. So I had kind of unsubscribed from Natasha, and I didn't watch her at all. And then when the Petito case started, I happened to see her video. It came up in my suggested, and I clicked on it because I was curious about the case, and I kind of, you know, it was engaging. I mean, come on, guys. You can't argue that it was engaging. Look at how many people she had in the chat. Look at all the, you know, people can say all they want that, you know, that they didn't like it. They did. People, I liked it. I don't think it was, but then, you know, it's when she tries to claim credit for things that she has no business to. That's where the kicker is. But she did create an environment that, you know, was interactive for the most part. And, I don't know. I can't knock that. Any of her other true crime coverage, though, not impressed. Because I've tried. I tried when she was doing the Watts case. I tried. I did, because that was when I first got into the Watts case. Because, you know, I had just like, not just, I had heard, where I heard about the Watts case is actually on a podcast called True Crime Garage. And then I never really thought much of it. And then the documentary came out, and then I started seeing it come up on my suggested, because I'm into true crime. So I just had to click on a few videos, and I don't know. I just, a lot of it was like, felt on her part like a lot of clickbait, and I don't care for things like that. I like facts. I deal in facts. I don't click on things like, I don't like that. Because as someone who does social media, I know why they do it. And it's not because it's not for good reasons. It's for their own benefit. Because I've even tested it on here, guys, with some of my short videos. If I word things a certain way, or if I venture into something that's a little bit of like clickbait, style, I get way more views. I just don't feel comfortable doing it all the time. And if I did, I probably would get more views. But, that's why my first video that I posted on here is probably streamed 3 or 4 times more than any of my other videos, is because I purposely put a title that I knew would get attention, just to test it out. Because I bought 2 books on how to build a channel on here, because I don't know how to build a YouTube channel. I am familiar with Instagram. I'm familiar with Facebook. Those are my two comfort zones, and I'm determined on this. I want to build a community. I like it here, and I'm not going anywhere. So, I wanted to read about how to do, because I had no idea. That was your local news channel, and you still watched her stream it. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, for me, and I've always said that, I haven't, I wouldn't have even known where to look for all of that to watch. I wouldn't have known. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing. Like, that's how you're supposed to do things, channel to watch. I call it the 20-30 rule. And that's because generally I usually would ideally take 2 days off a week from being on here. But basically what that is like 3 days a week, you talk about what people want to hear. You talk about, what brings your viewers there, because ultimately, we want, as creators, we want to talk about the things that our viewers want to hear about. And I don't fault anybody for that. Because, I mean, that's kind of the point, right? So, but, and then the 20% is for the other 2 days that you're on, to kind of test the waters on other topics, to kind of read the room, gauge your response, see if there's enough interest. I mean, some people are going to come on here and talk about what they're going to talk about and not care about those things. When it comes to what I'm speaking about the troubled teen industry, that's how I am. I hope people show up, but if they don't, they don't. But I'm still going to talk about it, because I want it on the internet, I want it on video, and I want it here. So, but other than that, I read the room, you kind of read the chat, you read the comments, you look at the analytics, and you kind of figure out what people are interested in. And somebody was in here the other day who said that they actually work in social work. So it makes sense that they would notice what I was doing. And they were spot on. So what I do is, the reason I present my videos the way that I do, so they're like the short videos, and a lot of them incorporate some humor into it, right? And the reason I did that is because a lot of the time, like, if I have information I want to convey and I want people to hear, then if people aren't watching it, then what's the point? Because if they're not going to watch it, they're not going to get the information. So what I was trying to do is add a little bit of humor, add a little, keep it light. Keep it light, so, and keep it short, because a lot of the time, what I've noticed is the longer your video is, most people don't watch the whole thing. And that's just what the statistics say, at least for what I put out. And I've heard that that's not uncommon. And I appreciate that, channels to watch. I do. Yeah. And right. And I agree with you that that's also fine. I think some of them are just for that. And I think that's definitely also needed in the community, because, right, there's room for everybody. There are people that make like the clip videos. And, I'm going to say it publicly again, because, there have been people that have contacted me to call me out on things. And I appreciate that they do. And like I've said 1,000 times, It doesn't mean I'm going to change what I'm doing, because I might, but I want to hear about it. And after I think about it, I might not agree with you. I might think what I'm doing is fine. And that's my right. But if you call me out on something, I'll definitely take a look at it. And this was something that that I kind of did take to heart a little bit, and I just thought they had a little bit of a point. So what they said is, they kind of accused me in a not so nice way of taking clips out of context and sewing them together to make things look worse than they are. Now, here's the thing about that, guys. The only time that I've done that, the only time I've done it is if it's like something that's supposed to be funny, like like what I call the recliner sizing. So it's when she's like dancing or doing her karaoke with like the wild the wild gesticulating, and stuff like that. Like that's what I will clip and put together, but it's usually over like a dance track, and it's not trying to make her look bad. It's just funny. When it comes to anything else, I'm not against putting, if anybody asks, if you want to know what video I got a clip from and you want to know the timestamp, I am more than happy to let you know that. And maybe I should put that in my description, because I have nothing to hide. Like, I want people to go look for themselves. Don't take anything I put as fact. I don't need to. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I don't need to make her look bad. She does that by herself. But that's the thing. Like, if people are really, and if people want to know, I'm an open book, guys. I will tell you. There's was one thing that I clipped that some people have come to me and said that they don't see it the same way, and that's fine. I want people to go look. Go ahead. You want to see the full context of things? By all means, I will give you the video. I will give you a timestamp, and that's assuming she didn't delete it though or private it, because you can't ever be too sure that she's not going to do that. But I'm open to that. That's the thing, though. That's I do hear what people say, and there's a couple other comments that I've gotten that I have kind of thought about, and because I feel like a lot of the time, sometimes they're right, and I will change what I'm doing if I feel that it's appropriate to do so. But I'm not going to apologize for commenting on somebody who's on a public platform ever. Right, Liberty. Like, guys, ask her why she's privated all of her videos. As somebody who has like seen a lot of the ones prior, the reason is because she's on her worst behavior. She still shows that now, but if you want to say that you have all the facts and that you know what you're talking about, and that I'm crazy and I'm wrong for what I say and how I feel, tell me how you feel. Because a lot of them are new. Maybe not all, but many. And she privated a lot of them pretty fast after she started getting crossover from true crime in the Petito case over on her Recline. That's when that started, I noticed. And right. That's really all it is. And that's what I mean. Like, and I've said it 1,000 times too. If Natasha, the only person that's going to change my opinion of Natasha is Natasha. Nothing anybody says to me is going to change what I've seen with my own eyes and heard with my own ears. It's just not. But do I think that Natasha is all bad and this evil being, and like, do I believe that she needs to be off YouTube? No, I don't feel that way. I think Natasha is not like, the all like evil incarnate. Thanks for joining us, Channels to Watch. I appreciate it. I don't think I've seen your name in here before, and I love seeing new names in the chat. Like, love it, because I like that people feel comfortable coming here, and you've had some really, really good points. So thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you in the future, definitely. I appreciate your being here. Her third channel has no videos. Right. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, keep everything open. Like, I'm not going to delete anything. I have like, there's like very particular circumstances that I'll do that, but very few and far between. But that's the thing. Like, I'm not here saying that she's all bad, or, I know some people feel that way. I know some people feel really strongly about her. Well, no, she's not interesting on changing. You're absolutely right on that. No. I know that. And she said as much. She's literally said that she doesn't think what she's doing is wrong, and she's not going to change. And so my opinion isn't going to change. And she does. She does thrive on the drama, and she's going to continue that. It's what brings her in money. It's where she's comfortable. And I've, and people, I mean, those videos aren't deleted. She is literally said that. I agree, Ectoshocker. I think like my one comment that I mentioned earlier about that is only that, like, it engaged me, you know, like, I kept my interest. But what I don't like is the fact that she took credit and took merit for building her channel off of that, because that wasn't, you know what I mean? That's not real. She didn't put the legwork in on that for streaming something. So yeah. But then, you know, she's not going to change. Or else, and what I mean is, like, if she truly changed her behavior, I wouldn't mention her ever again, except maybe in passing, as commenting on, you know, somebody that's around that, you know, in the community, I guess. But she's not going to do that. And she doesn't want to do that. And she won't even take, like, responsibility for things. Like, I think I know many people just want, like, you know, for her to just say, you know, yeah, what I did was wrong. And she's not even going to do that. So, well, I don't want, my channel is certainly not a Natasha bashing channel. There are plenty of other places that that's not what I want to do here. Because I know that a lot of people, you know, they feel very strongly about it, and I think that's legitimate. I think that's valid. I know she's hurt a lot of people. I know that. But at the same time, like, I don't think everything is bad about her. I would never say anyone is all bad, but, you know, ask her why those videos are privated. So watch those videos if they ever come back to light, and then tell me what you think. She's not going to delete them because it won't help her channel to delete them. So they're still there. They're just privated as far as I know. I don't think it benefits you in any way to delete them. And I don't know what's going on with that third channel. I'm still trying to figure out why the 3 channels. It's a little weird to me. I understand why she's separated the true crime and the drama. I understand that move, but adding a third one just kind of feels like another money grab. And I don't know. I don't know anybody with 3 monetized channels. And I would have the utmost respect for it if it was like in 3 different communities. Like, let's say she had one in the makeup community, one in the true crime community, and then one in, like, the knitting community. Like, you know, just hypothetical. And she built her audience in each of those. That would be respectable and impressive. But it's the same people. Like, you know, this isn't different communities. Like, they're all the same people. And I don't like that she, you know, she was trying to make people get a freaking membership, and then she was doing her, like, extreme drama on that third channel and putting it behind a paywall, which is, you know, something she said she'd never do. And, you know, that could be for 2 reasons. That could be A, because, you know, she doesn't want to be challenged on that, and she doesn't want people that, you know, I mean, let's be honest though, people will still pay even if they don't like her, because they want to see that. I know it happens. I made sure to cancel mine, but I know it happens. And to be fair, I mean, I do watch sometimes just because I feel like to know my facts. I'm not going to speak on something when I don't know her. That's why I'm not speaking on what's going on her most recent live, and I hope it's still up, but, you know, knowing her, maybe not. But I don't want to speak on that until tonight, because I want to hear her side. I want to hear what she has to say about it. It's probably not going to change how I feel, but, you know, that's, I have to do it just for myself. And she happened to go live, like, right before I was about to, and I was like, I don't want to push this back anymore. Although I do have to get off of here very, very soon. But I'm, like, glad that people, you know, were over here at all. Like, thank you guys. I took a few days off, like I said, because there was a lot going on over here. It is with the exact audience. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, and that's why I think it's like a money grab for that. I just don't. I'm not understanding that even from a business perspective, other than for that reason. But, you know, and I mean, I know there was a lot going on, and I didn't want to jump into it. You know, when I'm like have a lot to say, because I wanted to be very careful about how I say things, and I wanted to make sure that what I say made sense. So I'm going to be speaking more about it later on today, or tonight rather, because I feel like I'm comfortable doing it, because I'm not going to be up here and, you know, walk on eggshells and tiptoe around things anymore. I've done it. But I get a lot of emails, guys. Like, I get a lot of emails. Yeah, no, I agree, Michelle. I thought so too. And I understand that. That's what I'm saying. Like, there are valid reasons. Like, people want to know what she says about them, or in particular, and they don't want to just get it secondhand. They want to see it for themselves. That's like with me though, because like, you know, I don't want to just take somebody's word for something. If I don't see it for myself or hear it for myself, then I don't necessarily take it as truth. That's just the way my brain works. It's how I've always been. So, you know, I just sometimes, you know, I do want to see it for myself, and not hear it secondhand. But, you know, so I do understand that. But yeah, that's the thing, guys. Like I get it. I mean, I have gotten several emails. Like I wouldn't say a ton, but a handful of emails from people asking me, you know, how I feel about certain things and because I mean, I guess they're curious. I mean, I really don't know the intention behind it, but you know, and I've been trying to figure out like how do I feel? So I took the weekend off to kind of you know, take it all in and kind of figure out how I feel about a lot of things. And that's the thing going forward. I don't want to be one of those people who people don't know. Like I want to be able to be open with things because I should be able to. We all should be able to. Because just because somebody says they don't like a behavior doesn't mean they don't like somebody as a person or that they're against them or out to get them or wish anything but the best. Like, you know, that's not how it works. And it's certainly not how I work. That's not my intention. But I also don't want to walk on eggshells. I don't want to beat around the bush. You know, if I'm going to speak I'm on a public platform, so I can take any criticism that comes my way. You know, being on here opens you up for it. And I'm fully aware of that and expect it. And honestly, I've expected a lot more than I've gotten, but you know, I'm not a big channel. I'm a fairly small channel. And will I stay that way forever? I have no idea, but I hope not. I like seeing all these new faces. I like seeing the positive feedback, and I like seeing some of the constructive criticism too. I've said it, and I know that I actually got a lot of crap for doing this, but there was a video that I had posted early on that somebody said was out of line and mean. And when I kind of thought about it, I couldn't help but agree, because I don't need to go after Natasha's looks to talk about her. There are so many other things that I can talk about. So I took it down. Because I agreed. And I know that, you know, some people see me, they don't like that. And that's okay. But for my own sake, because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to talk about things that I see that are going on. And I don't need to talk about her looks. And I don't want to talk about her looks. So I took it down. And if that makes me a horrible person, that makes me a horrible person. But, you know, for my own integrity. So I know that, you know, I know I took the weekend off and I didn't really post any videos. I do have a video like ready to go. And depending on, I'm going to watch Natasha's latest thing when I get off of here. And depending on my feelings afterwards, I may or may not post it. Oh, my whole thing is I don't want to kind of kick her while she's down, if you know what I mean. Like she is sick, guys. Like we can't argue that. She is sick. And I don't want to, the thing is, you know, that makes me no better than anybody else. If I'm just going to, you know, use this as her, you know, not being on here, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to lay off until she gets better. And, you know, then I'm not going to, you know, stop talking about it otherwise, but I did lay off. I have a bunch of videos that are quite good, I think, in my opinion, that I was going to post, but I didn't just out of my own personal integrity. I know not everybody feels the same way, and that's fine. But I do have a bunch ready to go. And depending, I mean, if she's back in the game, if she's on there ranting and raving and, you know, has a lot to say and is back in this full force, then, you know, so am I. But, you know, if because she hasn't even really been on here, and I don't know. I don't play that game. And plus there's been so much else going on. I don't even think many people have been talking about her lately anyway. I think there's been a lot more talking about other things this weekend. So I think she's kind of gotten that rest in a lot of ways. But yeah, so I mean, I would appreciate it. I mean, if you have not subscribed to me yet, if you like what you're hearing, I would hope you would hit that subscribe button. We grow, well, a little bit every day, or every other, we're getting there. And I want a community tab, because that's what I'm trying to build here, is a community. So if I have a tab to do that, it gives me a way to communicate with you guys and to share interesting things. And I would have a lot of use for it. So, because as it stands, I have no way to get in touch with you guys, as a group, and without like making a video, and I don't want to have to do that every time. I would love to just be able to connect with you guys on that level. So I'm like, I don't know, more or less 50 away. So let's get me to 500. Exactly. We're going to have some fun here. We're going to do some good stuff. I think we're going to be covering some topics that are going to be interesting for a lot of people. I think some of the things that I have to say, especially things that I plan on saying tonight, just once and for all, to get it off my chest and then to move on. I think that that's going to be very interesting as well. I think that a lot of people will relate, and maybe understand where I'm coming from or appreciate that. Some people might not. That's just life. That's how the cookie crumbles. But we're gonna do some good stuff here, and we're gonna do some unique stuff. And it's going to be good, guys. I have some good plans. And like I said, tonight's show is going to be a lot of, probably half me talking about my story and going in. So just in advance, major trigger warning for tonight. There's going to be some adult topics regarding some stuff that I have been through that I would like to put publicly myself before it is put publicly for me, if that makes sense. So some of that it's regarding abuse of a bunch of different types, and I am just giving a massive trigger warning on that. Definitely going to be some words used that maybe children should not be around. If you're not, like that, that's a parenting choice. I'm not saying that children can't, you know what I'm trying to say. But just a fair warning. Or if you're not comfortable with that kind of stuff, it might not be the show for you, but I will make sure to announce before I get into it. Because I'm going to spend I'm not sure if I'm going to do the first or second half about it. The first kind of little bit that I want to do, though, is going to be just kind of addressing a few things and my own stance. And because I've had so many people ask, and I think that it is completely reasonable and okay for me to do that. And I think it's the right thing to do. So I'm going to just address some of the stuff that, has been going on and that I see and kind of how I feel about it. Just because, that's, we're all in this community and we all have eyes, we all have ears, and we all see things. And I don't think I hate the pointing fingers at people and saying that's the problem. And, I think it's much more complicated than that. And like I've said 1,000 times, just because I have an issue with the behavior I'm seeing does not mean I don't like the person. It doesn't mean I don't support them. You know what I mean? Like it means none of that. I disagree with the whole echo chamber mentality. I don't think that's productive or constructive or, helpful to anybody. I certainly would never have grown as a person if everybody just agreed with me and, never confronted me or said I did anything wrong. I mean, I've seen how that ends up in like actual human beings. I dated one of them. I dated somebody who was never told anything that they did was bad or wrong, and it didn't matter what they did. And they grew up into an adult that had some really, really delusional thinking. Just saying. But yeah, so that's the thing. If you haven't hit that thumbs up for me. You guys are all wonderful. I love this community that we're building. And I think we are a community. I mean, I kind of see the channels involved in all this is kind of like, I think the right word is a syndicate. But how like one parent company will kind of own a bunch of different cable channels, or it'll be packaged in like one deal. I kind of see it that way. So I kind of consider what I do here something unique that, is uniquely my own, as I see that with everybody else as well. I see what they do as something uniquely their own. And, we can all like a little bit of everything. Right. Spread the word. If you like this content, we're going to do some good stuff here. I also, though, I did want to introduce my Beeplus After Dark opener that I have made. I don't think that it will get any copyright issues. I believe the music I used is royalty free. I am under the impression that it is, as far as I know. So I'm gonna play it for you guys. I hope that it is what I think it is, and I'm pretty sure it is. And I saw this footage. Like I said, I kind of just looked up animated bees on YouTube, and a lot of like TV shows have a lot of like cartoons have a lot of stuff with bees, and this came up, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to use it. So I'm gonna play that for you real quick, and then I'm gonna kind of finish up. So let me play that for you guys. I hope you enjoy. I think this is the final one. I think this is the right one. I think. So here you go. It's silly, and it's definitely for Beeplus After Dark, so you'll see. So here it is.
We don't need no sleep because the party don't stop. So turn me up. We don't need no sleep because the party don't stop. So put your hands on me and turn me up. We don't need no sleep because the party don't stop. So put your hands on me.
There you go. There it is. There it is, guys. I know it's silly. It's silly, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to use that. Because it was kind of funny. It was like an episode where they were using bees as currency. So I kind of had another little intro that I was doing with that too. And it's like, I'll give you $1. No, we only take bees here, bro. And I was like, oh my God. Because it's like, it's kind of satirical as to what goes on over here. And I wanted to say publicly because I have to say it publicly because I don't know how to get in touch with some people. I have gotten some donations towards Chicory's dental surgery, and I wanted to thank everybody who has donated to that. Like, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. I don't want anyone to feel pressured to do it. But like I said, my most recent situation, like I recently lost my main source of income. I do have clients that and my dogs are barking. I'm so sorry. Probably means the mail is here. That I do get money for it, but that was kind of my side hustle originally. But I'm also a full-time grad student, so I've kind of, been looking to add to my client list to kind of make a little bit more money. But at the same time, like, my schoolwork is like so much, so it's hard. It's hard. Plus, I have a family and I have a lot of pets. And I when I got the estimate for it, that's the other thing. I am so fine with being like, if anybody, I'm like the most honest like person ever. Like, I'm a terrible liar too. So if I lie, I usually will be like, I'll come back to the person and be like, I lied. I want to correct that. So that's the thing. Like, if anybody feels that if you want emails of the receipts for things, I can't get, they want the money up front, and you can't do payment plans. You can't, like, I've gotten 2 opinions from 2 different vets, and they're very similar. I think the difference was only like $40. And good luck getting into any like lower income vets, because the line from it, like, because of the pandemic and stuff, is just, it's insane. Like, you can't even, and my cat is having a hard time eating because of it. Like, he has to have a couple teeth removed and some other work done. And, I can give him soft food and he'll eat, but, he can't even chew dry food. So I want to get him in as soon as possible. And I would never ask, like, unlike some like Linda and Natasha, I would never ask you guys to front the whole bill. I am not comfortable doing that. I'm not even comfortable asking it all. But, like I said, doing social media, I think it's totally fine for people to donate to people. I'm not even necessarily against, somebody having an Amazon wish list up there. I'm not going to be doing that. But, to each their own. What I don't like is the aggressive hustling, the aggressive dropping of payment links, and these fundraisers that people feel pressured to donate to. But that's their choice, I guess. I just will not be doing anything like that. But I'm also not monetized, so I think that also takes it to another level. If you're eligible to get super chats and you're aggressively doing that, I know it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. I think that's one of the biggest things a lot of people have with Natasha, is they got really sick of seeing that. But she keeps getting all of these fundraisers. They all meet their goals, and as long as they do that, she's going to continue doing them, and people continue to, like, what are you going to do? There's nothing we can do about it. But we don't have to like it, and we're allowed to say something about it. But I appreciate everybody that has, like, from the bottom of my heart, guys, honestly. And I did want to say it publicly. I wasn't going to, because I was like, I don't want people to feel pressured to do it. But a lot of the time, like, I don't have a way to contact you. And I just wanted to say thank you because it means so much to me. Like you have no idea, guys. You have no idea. You guys, this community is great. Like when push comes to shove, I don't care what anybody says. There are some really good people here. And I know that everybody's capable of being like adults, because even people I see that maybe get a little, I don't know, a little not too out. I don't think there's anything wrong with being outspoken, but I mean, sometimes, maybe conduct themselves in ways that I personally wouldn't. But when they're here, when people are here, I don't, everybody's really respectful and really, really just good. Like I've seen people in this chat chatting at the same time, people who I know don't like each other or, have an issue with something, and they're still kind. They just don't talk to that person. And I think that's how it should be. I really respect that. That's just proving it, guys. If you guys want to, it's like holding that bar low so people don't hold you to an expectation, but you've blown your cover, guys. You have. I've seen that you can do better, so you're not going to fool me. Now that I've seen it, I can't let it slide anymore. But yeah, everybody in here is just great. Not everybody that has come out of or because a lot of us were a part of Natasha's community. I mean, that's just the fact. I was, on there. I mean, there are people here. There are people that are mods that have left. And we're not all bad people, and we're certainly not the bad guys that sometimes we're portrayed as being. I definitely am not. I'm probably one of the nicest people you will ever meet, genuinely. I don't really have anybody who doesn't like me in real life. The only people that don't like me seem to be here on YouTube, oddly enough. But that's fine. I understand. I talk about people. And if you talk about people on a public platform, hey man, Extreme, you're gonna get talked about. Like that's the way it works. That's the way the cookie crumbles, and it's totally valid. Like I can't come up here and talk about Natasha. I don't think she's gonna talk about me just because I'm not gonna feed her narrative so much. Because if she was to stream me, she wouldn't hear anything that's like super angry and anything like that. But if she was to, that's her right. I wouldn't be like, she can't say anything about I'm down. She totally can. She totally can. That's her right. Especially if I'm talking about her. Same goes for anybody else. I'm not that big of a deal. So a lot of the time I'm not going to get talked about. But if I was, that behind the scenes is different, guys, because I'm going to say it straight up again. And if it hits, there's a reason it hits. What I'm saying is going to hit. Just because I don't talk about it doesn't mean I don't know what people say behind the scenes about me, because I do. I know more than I speak on, and it's fine, guys. Like, but just don't think I don't know. I'm not ignorant. I'm not stupid. And people tell me things too, even if I don't ask them to. So that's just the thing. The difference is that I'm not going to come on here and it's not going to help. It's just going to make it worse. So, just don't think I don't know. Don't think I don't know. I'm not, you're not going to pull the wool over my eyes. You're not going to get anything over on me. And a lot of it's just really petty and stupid anyway. But that's fine. Just a message of it. If that doesn't apply to you, then it's not about you. And it's not about anybody in my chat right now, because y'all are wonderful. Let's see. I'm sorry about that, man. Extreme. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry that your husband's cousin died. I hope nobody would do anything like that. I think you're a really nice person, man. Extreme. I have no issues with anybody. Especially, I don't have any issues with you at all, and I'm sorry that that's happening. That's not right. I don't know who a lot of people are, guys. So you're gonna have to bear with me. I genuinely am not part of a whole lot of communities, but if someone's doing that to you, they shouldn't be. I can't read, so I'm sorry. Like, I can't see, rather. I can read very well, but I need glasses. I'm in denial about it, though. I also don't have vision insurance, so I might have to go to that dollar store and pick me up some, let's see. Hold on. I'm sorry. I want to make sure I'm reading this right. Oh, okay, man. Extreme. I'm sorry. I got you. Okay, I'm sorry. I read that completely wrong. I thought that was the name of a creator. Right. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I do think that she is sick right now. I am skeptical about whether she was sick prior, but I don't like to speculate on that. I mean, I do think that she's sick, and she hasn't been on a whole lot, but I haven't listened to what she's saying either because I've been on here. So ask, I'm going to be like that magic 8-ball. I'm going to shake it and say like, maybe ask again later, just because I'm going to have to take a look. But no, I know there's I mean, it's no joke. I mean, so many people, like, it really hit me recently that there are people my age, dying from this, and it's crazy. It's a crazy world we live in right now. But no, I understand what you mean, and I know what you mean. Definitely understand. Why can't I see? I don't think I've seen you in here before either, Incognito Gypsy. Hello. I don't know if I've seen your name in here. I like that though. I like that there's new names in here every time I'm on. It makes me happy because I know that there are people watching that aren't chatting, and I just want everybody to know, like, you're welcome in here. Nobody here is gonna bite. Not on my watch. I have a very, 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 very strong opinions on what is allowed in my chat, and I'm not gonna allow anything. People can come in here, and if I have anything to do with it, nobody's gonna attack you. Nobody. Like, I've had people in here that literally have said things like about me, and I told people like a lot, so they've been welcomed in here, like especially people who support Natasha. Like, if you want to say something, I'm all for that. Like, I'll address it. If I might not agree with you, but nobody's going to attack you in here, and if they do, I call them out, because I think sometimes people think that they're just defending me, and I appreciate it, but at the same time, I got this. But most of the time I just see them being welcomed, so that's like really awesome. Yeah, I like diversity too on here. I think that there's you just peeked at CJ's chat. She showed. Wait, I'll contrast. That's enchanting. Well, yeah. Which one? Almost Famous. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, hi Navigator. Like I said, guys, I am not privy to her most recent live. I have not watched it. If she's still on or if she's not, I'm gonna go watch it. I hope she didn't private it because I do want to know what's going on. So I'm like Magic 8-Ball, asking. I'm gonna talk about exactly what I think about all that tonight when I come back on. So I have an interesting show planned. I'm going to try and be on time for it. But like I said, guys, I'm very grateful to the clients that I have. And sometimes they call it weird hours. If they need something, they say jump. I say how high, because they are my only income right now. And, a lot of them are artists. So they're up at all hours. One of them is like on a really weird manic kick right now with their writing, and they certainly are up at all hours and want to run ideas by me, or ask me to go onto the Patreon and take care of something. And I'm just like, oh my God, when do you sleep? Do you sleep? I don't know. But he's a good guy. He's a good author. He's definitely eccentric, and he's a character. So, I mean, sometimes I do get calls at random times. I have to push things back. And, if and when I become a bigger channel, I'm going to make this more of like a professional kind of thing. Like, I'm not going to be late for things. If I say I'm going to be live, I'm going to be live, or else there's like a severe emergency. But like, as it stands, like, I don't have, like, I'm not a big channel. I'm not sure how this is going to go. I do want to build this channel. I absolutely do. And I appreciate every one of my subscribers. I'm amazed that as many people like subscribe to me as they do. Like, that's awesome. Thank you so much, guys. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Like, we do things a little bit differently here. I think every channel has their own unique thing to offer. And I think that's certainly true for myself. So we're going to be doing some really interesting stuff. And I'm just saying it because I see there's some new people in here. If you have any suggestions for cases that you're really interested in, or topics of anything that's like weird, unsolved, unexplained, stuff like that. If you have any suggestions or something that you're really into, please send me an email. I would also be interested, if you're comfortable, if you wanted to, come on panel and kind of co-host with me, I am totally down. to I'm open to that as well, because a lot of the time there are some people that know a lot about some cases, or things like that I might not know of, but I will go down the whole rabbit hole for things. So if you have any suggestions, email it to me. If I get multiple suggestions for the same thing, I will probably pick that first. Otherwise, I'll pick whatever I can find the most information on and speak most accurately on. Yeah, hold on, the crying mode. Yeah, the sad fishing is out of control. I agree. And I can always see it when it's happening. I see it, I recognize it, and a lot of the time there's an art to it as well, and I see it immediately. And a lot of it is so subtle that, like, if you're not privy, or like, if you're not knowing what you're looking for, you might overlook it. Like, she doesn't have to say, give me all your money, seriously, to have people, you know what I mean, guys? I know you guys know what I mean, because you all see it. Yeah, I agree. And that's where it gets me, Liberty Farmer. It does. Because I agree with you there. That's what I said. I kind of took the weekend off for a variety of reasons, one of which is that my whole philosophy for my own personal integrity is not to kick somebody when they're down. And, if she's sick and she's not on here, I'm going to take, like, until she's back on here fighting, I wasn't going to post any videos or whatever. But if she's back on here and she's already doing that stuff, then, that's fair game again, I guess. But I definitely see it. And that's the thing, you would think, it's like nobody everybody always says they're going to take a break from here, and, never ever do. And she's not. Yeah, you'd rather put your cash through a shredder. At this point, after Shocker, I'm like leaning towards agreeing with you, because I know my money is not going to something. I'd rather I want, if I'm going to give money, like, I give it to creators who really put a lot of time and effort into their content, especially because a lot of the time people will do videos or do lives, and I am 100% about tipping people. I'm a really good tipper. I look at it in the fact that if somebody does a good job, I want to recognize that. And I always want, like, if I call to get my hair cut, I want them to want me to come in. Because, because that's somebody's living, so I'm all for, I'm tipping people really well for a job well done. But at the same time, like, it's obvious, like, I don't know. Nobody knows the truth at this point. She's, and this is the one time I'm going to say it in this live, because I think it's just common knowledge. Like, she does say on some lives that, Dalton takes care of every need and every whim and every wish. And, and I think, so there's that. And then at other times she needs the income to support her family. And I get that, like, having some extra money and stuff is useful. But then when you see it being spent on, like, all of these useless, like, Amazon purchases and going to the casino, I don't know, something about that rubs me the wrong way, but clearly a whole lot of people feel differently. And that's, if they're going to give her money, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing any of us can do about that. I can speak on it, though, because that's my right. We have free speech, so I can talk about it. And there's nothing really that's going to stop me from doing it. But, if people want, there's nothing we can do about that. But I agree with you. I would rather do that as well. I would rather how much makeup can. Well, Michelle, here's a really interesting thing. So when I had when I had a large platform on Instagram, so I had almost 129,000 followers, and I, used to get a whole lot of free stuff sent to me. A lot of it was makeup stuff. It was a lot of really random stuff. But see, here's the thing, like, or either they haven't found out that I don't have that anymore, like it got taken down or whatever, but I get free stuff all the time sent to me. And I feel that way about my own. Hi, Tick Turtle Gum. I feel that way about my own makeup at this point. I feel like I throw a lot of it. I have ads. Oh, okay. All right. I'm down for it. Hi, Abby. Yeah, Abby, you always come in right when I'm about to get off here. But I'm guessing a lot of people are coming in now because perhaps Natasha is done with her. I expected people to go over there. Like, I was like, oh, she's going live when I do. I knew people. Yeah. I agree. I mean, I don't feel comfortable with that. Like, if I know my money is going towards supporting somebody, or if I really like their content, like if I really like their content, or they're creating like some sort of art, like, like whatever, spend it on whatever you want. It consider that, my payment for doing something that I enjoy. I just, I almost would rather not know what people like. If you're just opening, you're having like this fundraiser for Christmas help, right? And there are so many people in your community saying that they're struggling and that they can't what am I saying? That they can't afford, to give their children Christmas. And, there's so much like need. And she's opening these boxes and, of useless nonsense that nobody needs. I mean, I think that's a little offensive. And I mean, that's her right to do. It's not illegal for her to do that. I mean, it's a free country. I just think like morally, I don't know, it didn't sit well with me. I just wouldn't do that, especially when I'm trying to like do something good for the community. And like I had seen some of the chat, right? And there was like every other thing was somebody like with some story about some horrible, like something horrible that their family was going through. And, I mean, I don't know these people, so I can't say, I mean, do people lie on YouTube? Yeah, sure. A lot of people do. But I have no reason to think otherwise. So there are these people that are in that chat saying that, their husband died, or, their son is really ill, really just awful stuff that people shouldn't have to go through, that are really financially taxing. Yes, Stick Turtle Gum. I'm starting to. I have one so far. I am not a large channel, so I am doing this strategically. So bear with me here. There's a method to my madness. When I only have like at most 20 people in my chat, I'm starting small. I know that you emailed me though. I saw it. Yeah. So you'll see. There's a method to my madness, guys. You shall see. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah, but there's like a lot of people with really like sad stories that are struggling with stuff, and she's there opening nonsense and like, complaining that I don't know. I didn't like that. There's like so much need. And then you have people that were like, when Lindsay did her fundraiser, and it was started to be shared, because I thought that was actually really great. And I've said that 1,000 times. I think it's wonderful that even channels that, don't necessarily agree kind of put something together that said, let's put aside our differences. And this is about like a human being, like I thought that was really awesome. In fact, when I saw that from two particular channels, I actually have gained a little more respect for Natasha, because I'm like, oh, wow, look at this, and she's cool with that. But then, she had her tantrum and all of that went out the window, because clearly she was not okay with that. But, I thought it actually made her, put her in a little bit of a better light there, but that wasn't the case. But yeah, so she, when she did that, everyone was like, well, what about all the need in our own community? And, and I'm like, but nobody's doing anything for your community. Like Natasha's not setting up fundraisers for half the people I see in here saying that they have a need. And you also aren't letting people donate. Like there was that woman that, she did have a Liberty Farmer. That is my next video, is exactly that topic too. So if she has, when I watch her latest live, and if she has officially crossed over that line into like, she's turned up that on switch again for the drama, it's going to get posted tonight, or tomorrow, or whatever, very soon. It's not quite done. But that's the thing. Like, who was it? There was a poor woman who lost everything in a fire, and she did a fundraiser for $500, right? And she and she had people, she wouldn't give the PayPal. It had to go through her hands. And people in the chat were repeatedly saying, what's this woman's, that is bizarre. Yeah. Abby, I don't think Michelle would do that. I don't think that's that. But guys, I also want you guys to know, and I want this to be very, very well known here. It is very easy to clone people on here and make it look like you are somebody else. So I just want to make that very clear. And it's used to confuse people and create distrust and to troll. And I'm not using any examples in particular. I'm just saying in general, because it is very easy. I don't think a lot of people know that. Because there's no like, if you, like certain screen names or like emails, if somebody already has that name, you can't take it. It's not like that on YouTube. That's why you see people naming themselves Dr. Phil on here. Well, I don't know about that. I don't think, I mean, that doesn't sound right to me, Abby. I mean, but like I said, I mean, I don't think that's real. However, if so, that's somebody, if people want to give money to somebody, then yeah, I was going to say that doesn't sound like the Michelle in here. No way. If it was her photo, that's a big deal though. That's a really, really big deal and not okay at all. And that's something that I wouldn't be comfortable with at all. And I'm so sorry if you have to deal with that, Michelle, because that's really, really unacceptable. I really hope it's not. Okay. I was going to say, but like, here's the thing. I'm not going to look at anybody differently if they do, because it's your money. And you're welcome to do whatever you want with it, as long as you're respectful in my chat. But that's the thing, like, she had to have all that money go through her hands. She couldn't let anybody donate directly to the woman. And she stopped it at 500 when people still wanted to give. And she, it just, I don't know. There's a lot of need. And, I don't know, guys. I don't know. And that was the point I was trying to make, though, is that, I'm not a large channel. So, and I'm certainly not good at raising money. So, it's probably null and void for me to even say it. And I put it in the video that I'm going to post, is that, she was, and I have a whole tirade. She was having a fit about, Lindsay. She's like, I'll help anybody, but I'm not helping Lindsay. I'll never do that. But, and I said to myself, I'm like, you know what, though? It's not about anything like that. It's about being a good human being and being there for people, and other people are able to, nobody asked you to donate, Natasha. Nobody said, Natasha, you need to donate. They didn't even, it wasn't even on your channel. Like, it was on other, I was like, nope. And I even said in there, I was like, if there was somebody who was having a really hard time that, was in her community, I would do that for them. I would share a video, or, I would make, if there was someone on that circle, I would do that. I would do that for Natasha if it was for something legitimate. I'm not going to lie to you guys. If something really, really horrific happened, like for real, and you know what I mean? And she expects people to donate money to her without even questioning anything, but she can question everybody else on everything. Like, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. But that's the thing. Like, if something really tragic happened and like, it was real, I am a human being and I have empathy for everybody. So I would, and I don't understand why it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Would I want to do it? No. Would I want, do I encourage? I don't, I'd have to cross that bridge when it comes to her, if I ever got to it, you know what I mean? But if it was somebody in her community and there was something really tragic that happened, I mean, why not? We're all human beings, guys. Like, and it was not a good look. And that's what my next video is about, because guys, like, I'm not religious. I'm not really particularly privy. I was raised Jewish. So when it comes to like the New Testament and the teachings of Jesus Christ, I'm not, particularly well versed, but I, went down the rabbit hole with that. Not a rabbit hole, but I kind of did my research, and I spoke to some people who are very knowledgeable in that, who are religious and take those teachings seriously, and they kind of pointed me in the direction of some of the teachings and some of the passages from the Bible and stuff, and. You know what I mean? Like, for her to say the things that she said about that and then claim to be like, a Christian woman, or God-fearing Christian woman, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Like, you're not supposed to, if you're a believer, you truly believe that if somebody has done wrong, that, you're not the judge of that, ultimately. And I'm not saying I believe in this, but I know a lot of people do. And I think it's great, whatever you believe. But, with the teachings, I'm just speaking of, this is what it is, the ultimate judge is God. And it's not for you to judge. Like, you know what I mean? You're supposed to treat people with dignity and respect and as a human being, and leave the judgment and, the harassment and shame, leave all of that. If that person really did wrong, when they reach, when they get to that point, that's for God to decide. Or God to handle. And that's what the belief kind of, and I know that nobody's perfect and people have feelings. Like, I understand that. And I'm not negating that. I'm just saying that to claim that, you follow these teachings and that you're, putting off this front. I don't know, man. Like, that's not what I read, and that's not how other people see it. And I just thought that was really, really telling of what it's about for her. And the fact that she can't even, she's like, I wouldn't piss on her if she was on fire. Like, I would never, I would do it. I help anybody, but not, that's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. We're supposed to, love thy enemy. And, it especially, there was one passage that I thought would speak to her quite well, which, I'm going to butcher it, guys. So I apologize to people who know these verses. I don't mean to butcher it, but it basically said, be kind, and take care of your enemy. And if you do that, it will be like putting hot coals on their head, which basically is like kill them with kindness, which I thought, might appeal to her quite a lot in that fashion. I thought that was interesting, an interesting way to put it anyway. But, I had never really looked at that. And I was like, that's not really congruent with, what the, Christianity is the teachings are really about. But, that's just my opinion, and that's how I see it. I just thought that was just really, really not a good look. Not a good look for anybody, how she handled that situation. It was like a giant tantrum, like a toddler. Right. Well, right. And what I'm saying, though, is just, Abby, nothing that you say is quite on that level of, or even close, actually, to that level of how she handled that situation. Right. Right. And it just reminded me of a toddler having like this breakdown, over sharing or something. Like, oh no. No. Didn't sit well with me. And like I said, like if she had just left it as it was, I can't be alone. I know a lot of people, especially that are outspoken here, will say that nothing that she does will make her look good to them, and I'm not saying it changes my mind, but what I'm saying is when I saw two particular channels who I knew were in support of her, and I think I even took a screenshot of it because I was like so surprised. I was like, oh my God, I need to make sure I'm not seeing things. So I'm like, I need to make sure. And then they ended up taking them down. But I was like, I need to make sure that this is real. Like if I can screenshot it and look at it in my photos, it's real. That's okay, Abby. I don't have an issue with that at this point. But I saw two channels who I knew were in support of her, at the core of what they do, making these really, really, really nice videos saying like, let's put aside our differences. Let's not have sides, and let's just, focus on like, being a compassionate human being. And I was like really like shocked, but it actually, because I knew that Natasha, really supported these two channels. I actually like had a little bit of respect for her there. I was like, wow, okay, this is really nice. Like I never expected to see this. But then it turned out that, she actually had a lot of contempt and anger towards creators who were just being good human beings and caring. I don't like how she handled that with Jax. I think that was wrong. Because, you're yelling at him for having a heart and caring about somebody else, which is really, really yucky, actually. And, he has a point. Like, she is good at raising money. So, I don't know, man. Like, that just didn't sit well with me. You don't have to like everybody. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not actually really familiar with their history with each other, Lindsay and Natasha, but yeah, I don't know. Just wasn't. I don't think. I mean, I had seen a few of her videos because, like, Natasha would talk about them, so I had looked a few times. Nothing that I saw was anything any worse than anything that, like, she dishes out to people. Let me tell you. So, I just thought it was like really telling that she's criticizing and bashing somebody for caring about another human being that she doesn't like. So, yeah, no, Abby, I respect that. I think it's great that there are people that have done, and I am all for apologies too. Like, Liberty has come on here and apologized for a lot of the stuff. I know even Siren has come on here and apologized to people privately for their, for his role in some stuff. And that's what matters to me. And I know they're doing it. So the fact that that's even happening is good. It's progress. And that's what should be happening. So, and even people that I just hope with time, And I was skeptical at first too. I mean, especially like, when Siren left, I was like, I wasn't sure how that was going to go, but he really he's apologized to a lot of people. And I think it's genuine. So, it's not all, I don't know. A lot of people, not necessarily, but I know there's a lot of distrust and stuff, but I think in time people will start to see, who's legit and who's not. And I think people are starting to, which I appreciate. I think that's great. Because I said some nasty things too to people, and I've also apologized to those people. One of those people that I apologize to, which I've mentioned in other lives, I don't know that person. I mean, maybe I was right in the first place, but we'll see. Right, and everybody's not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. So, Abby, you're perfectly okay with that. Like, just because like you don't have to like somebody's content and respect. You can respect them. Like, that's the thing. Like, not everybody's gonna like my content. I certainly don't like everybody else's content, but I'm also not gonna like go in there and troll or bash or whatever. Like some people just do their own thing, and I'm all for that. And that's one of them. Like, do I watch everybody in this community either? No, I don't. For me, like, if you don't have something that like kind of gets me in there, it's not going to hold my attention very long, unfortunately. And I'm not saying there's anybody in particular. There's just a lot of smaller channels that I'm not familiar with. I've had to become familiar with some, because in order for me to be informed on things, I have to watch it. And a lot of them I'd never even heard of before, but I mean, I'm opening my horizons here. I don't dislike everything that I see. I think this community has a lot of really great stuff going for it and some really great people. But great people can also have problematic behaviors. And where did Mrs. Lorraine, let's see, you know what? I'm not so sure. I was under the impression, Lorraine, that was, I hate saying, oh, actually, no, you already said her name, kind of. I was under the impression, from Natasha. I'm not so sure. I think that's hotly debated. I think that I don't know if that's a tough one. I think that there's a few people. I think that openly Natasha's been blamed. I know Kim has been blamed, and I know that those are the two that I've heard mentioned in terms of that. Do I know which one for sure did it? No, I don't know. And both have kind of, defended themselves. And I have, yeah. And she's even said both herself. Like, I'm not going to say her name because it is like, she has me blocked though. So you know what, whatever. And I have been as nice as possible with that. The only video I even mentioned her. So I will say it, guys. This is new me. Mrs. Portland has said both. So she changes her story a lot. Heading back to bed. All right, anxious for peace. Oh, I'm sorry that you're sick. I hope you feel better. Yeah, I'm actually an hour past what I should be on here. And I'm kind of mad at myself about that, but that's okay. I do have to, I have somebody who needs my laptop, so they can do things, they can do homework they don't want to do, but that's okay. But yeah, so we don't know for sure. I don't know for sure anyway. Because she changes her story, and who knows? I think she changes her story to appease whoever's listening at the time. So I'm not really sure, honestly. Yeah, I wish I did. Just when you think that's the thing. I can't take anything that she says seriously, because a lot of the time it's not true, and then it just causes chaos, which is why that whole situation frustrates me. And I've always said, I wish her the best. I hope she finds a community that truly values and appreciates her and doesn't weaponize her, because she is a human being. But here we are. But she has me blocked, so I don't see anything if she has said anything lately or done anything outlandish or weird, I have not seen it, because I cannot see her. And I just figured that out. I was like, who's talking to Mrs. P? And I'm not. That's fine. I'm cool with that. I try not to talk about her either or see her. So, but yeah, guys, I am going to have to get off of here soon. Yes, I enjoy talking to you guys. I was on here much longer than I always am. I always am on here. I need like a timer that goes off, so I could be like set time, because I end up like spending my entire day here because I enjoy talking to you guys and I like to talk. I had one person come in here once and they're like, "Can I just ask you a question? How do you talk for so long?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just like to talk." Which is funny because like when you first meet me, I'm very quiet. And you won't know that I like to talk until like, you know, you kind of break down the walls. But once you do, I don't shut up. So fortunately, you know, on here, my wall is, why does she, yeah, you know, and that's why, Lorraine, that's the video that I had made, about a month ago. It was highlighting that. And it's because I believe that they go where they feel, welcomed, and it kind of is like valuing and then devaluing somebody on the drop of a dime from like perceived persecution. If I'm putting it in like a psychological kind of standpoint, that's what I see with that. And obviously I can't diagnose, or I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying, like, you know, these behaviors that I see. So she's done this several times. She'll go and Natasha was more than happy to bring her into, and I mean, who am I to say for sure, but I don't believe that her welcoming her back into that was for the right reasons. Or Liberty, you know, Liberty knows Natasha much better than I do. So, maybe that there's more behind the scene. Like I said, I'm not privy to everything that goes on, you know, like there are definitely things that went on long before that I showed up on the scene. So that's why I appreciate people who have actually been around this for quite some time, because they usually, they're able to, yeah. And it's happened a few times. And that's the thing. That was what I was pointing out. Like, why would you go back to somebody who's treated you that way? And she has been very, very cruel to her. Like, I have a video showcasing that. I was actually incredibly disturbed by some of what she said to her in one of her clapback videos. Because obviously she's, you know, she's struggling, you know, you can tell, like there's something going on that, you know, it doesn't make it appropriate or right or less hurtful, but you can tell that there's something going on there that's, you know, difficult for her, I guess. Yeah. So that's all I'm going to say on that, but I don't understand it either. And it's because she got into a fight or perceived it as, she had a falling out with somebody else, and she'll always go back and forth. There's a lot of people like that on here I've seen, but yeah. Oh God. Yeah. You know, Michelle, and you know, I try and avoid talking about her because I, you know, I'm empathetic and I see that she struggles with some stuff. But if you have a PayPal pool for coloring pages, come on, dude. Like, what? And somebody told me it was for like $1,000, like $1,000 worth of coloring books. Like, guys, I should be selling my coloring pages. You know, I'm in the wrong, that's what I'm saying. I'm in the wrong business. Like, would you guys be interested in buying like some cat fur for like crafts or something? Like, I have a surplus of that. I've got 3 cats. Be more than happy to sell that to you guys. I mean, it seems like creators are selling any and everything these days. I mean, I'll sell my bathwater. I'm just kidding. That's Beeplus After Dark. But seriously, guys, like, you know, obviously I'm not doing this right. Because people have bought them. That's the thing. Right. Like, Liberty, don't tell me that, because that's just, you know, and somebody's going to clip this and take it the wrong way. But I think anybody who knows me and knows, like, how I talk is going to understand this. But the fact that she has, like, twice as many subscribers as I do just makes me have no faith in the humanity. I'm sorry. I said it, and I stand by it. I'm not going to take it back. It's how I feel. That's fine. She can, yeah, the cat hair. Yeah, there's a book on Amazon that's like I think it's probably a gag gift, but how to do crafts with cat hair. But yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, you know, I think I don't know. I think it showcases what people's priorities are, but that's okay. That's okay, guys. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. It's all good. You know, if I could sell coloring pages too. I totally could. I'm a good colorer. I totally color in the lines, guys. Totally can color in the lines. Not really. But I do. I do adult coloring book things, but I do like mixed media collages on top of them. So like I'll a crayon fun too. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my Lord, not to use the Lord's name in vain. I know that some of my audience is quite religious. I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that. Because I am really I don't want to like that's another thing I don't overstep with. I'm never gonna I don't want to talk about like any if you believe what you believe, and I'm not gonna I don't like making people like uncomfortable with that kind of stuff. And I would expect people to do the same. So I try not to do that. I try not to do that, even if it's not. She admits to buying. Oh my God, guys, like I'm doing this wrong. Like clearly, like I should be making like wish lists, and I should be like, I'm not hustling, right? I don't know how. I guess. No, it's just that I can't do it. I just can't do it. I would never. I would feel comfortable doing that. I think I would. It's Oh, it's not actually a crayon fund? Okay. Well, I mean, you never know. And Natasha's had some very interesting funds. I mean, we all know that it's a joke. Like, I think she truly believes that we think that she's actually raising money for honey mustard. And like, I'm not stupid. Like, I know it's a joke. I just don't think it's funny. Um, yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the thing, though. I mean, I don't care what she does either, as long as she's not doing what she was doing for quite some time. But the fact that I'm just going to leave this here, and people can take it how they want. That the fact that people that behave like that, and she's taken it, she's crossed some lines that probably shouldn't have been, necessarily crossed. I think, and I don't think I strongly. I'm gonna be okay. No, I'm gonna be upfront. I strongly disagree with some of the words that have come out of that woman's mouth. I can't condone it, and nope. But that's the thing. People rush over there and hit that subscribe button, and I just feel like sometimes people get supported for all the wrong reasons, and I mean maybe it's just to make fun or keep up with drama and stuff, but. I don't know. It's not something I'm gonna do, and I'm not jealous. It makes me question. It makes me question humanity, if I'm honest. Yeah, walk in with $1,000. Lord help the cashier. Yeah, everyone's gonna go on their lunch break. It's like when Natasha rolls into that casino. I bet you, like somebody just clocked in, and they're like, "No, I'm out. I'm gonna be on my lunch. If you need me, I'm not gonna be in the building." But I'm kidding. Is the Dollar Tree now $1.25? That doesn't surprise me. Prices are rising, and there's a lot wrong with what's yes right. No, I agree. Liberty Farmer, yes. And why I've avoided that topic in particular, like I said, guys, is that you know what, this is my new me. I'm open and I'm honest, and if people want to hold me, see me as a bad person for saying this, fine, but I don't think it's outside. You can tell that she I have tried to avoid it, because you can tell that she struggles with so a lot of issues that make her I don't, you know what I mean? I know guys don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, I can't entirely and help is hard to find nowadays. Like, a lot of people are really struggling to get the mental health care that they need, like on the best of times, and especially now. So I don't know the specifics, and I don't excuse what comes out of her mouth either, because there is no excuse for some of the things that she has said, in my opinion, at least to me. And I think many people feel similarly, because there have been some things that are just not okay, any way you look at it. But I also am not going to be over here bashing her or making videos about her, because you can tell that she's not all she's, and I'm not saying she's not smart, because I know people say that a lot. And I know that she knows right from wrong. And I know that, but that doesn't mean that like things are wiring correctly. You know what I mean, guys? So like, I don't feel comfortable like bashing anyone, but I also don't agree with it. And that's why I haven't said anything at all. I just wanted to put that one example out of how, Natasha has been horrible to her, yet is welcoming her with so open arms, and it's not for the right reasons, in my opinion. So that's the thing. I just from I've worked with adults with disabilities and mental illness, like dual diagnosis stuff. I worked at a group home for quite some time, with children and adults, and I don't know, I guess that's just given me like a little bit of an insight into how that works. And you can't, I know that, a lot of people are all for, we have to treat everybody exactly the same and hold everybody to the same standards. I know a lot of people are of that mindset, and I don't argue with people's mindsets because their opinion is their own. A lot of people have their own reasons for how they think the way that they do. But the way I think is that, sometimes things need to be adjusted a little just because, what I'm trying to say is that I'm not personally going to put them on a pedestal, and I'm not going to do that. And I'm not condoning what she says, but at the same time, I'm not going to drag her or bash her or make videos. Cause I see videos about her that come up in my suggested, and I'm just not going to do that because, sometimes people aren't playing with a full deck of cards, and I don't think that's fair. But that's just my opinion. And if people feel differently, then that's their right to feel differently. But that's just why you don't see that for me. And, why I don't speak out about it, because I definitely could, but I just don't see what good it would be doing. As I don't feel like she's at all interested in changing how she behaves either. So, I would hope she is, but I think a lot of the time, what drama sells. You start acting you start like freaking out and acting like, a loon on the internet, and suddenly you're viral and you have a billion different, like a billion subs. You know what I mean? Like it's insane. It's insane. If I wanted to do that, I probably would have, several thousand subs as well if I wanted to come on here and act absolutely ridiculous. But I'm not going to do that because that's not who I am. But the fact that people do that just encourages that behavior, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's very real for her in particular. I feel like when she gets that, it's reinforcing it. And it's a real problem on social media. We kind of, hard stop, moving on from this particular person. Okay, guys, hard stop, moving topic. So don't associate this with her, please. But as a culture, I've noticed recently that we kind of put acting ridiculous, out of control, and doing stupid stuff on a pedestal, on social media. And I don't know, it's never sat well with me. I guess maybe I just need to get with the times, but I just feel like it encourages people to behave that way. And you see it a lot with kids. They think that, they see people behaving that way and getting all this recognition online because people either hate watch or whatever. But I don't know. I have a problem with it. I'm just gonna be very, very honest about that because I want to be honest with you guys. I do get a lot of questions about, moving forward. I do get a lot of questions about where I stand on things. So I took that to heart, and I am going to try to be more open about that. And I don't think I'm doing anything wrong, so I don't really care. It's fair. Let's see. What did I miss here? Yeah, Ecto Shocker, I really did. I put a lot of thought into it prior to doing it. I wasn't going to, but like I said, I didn't come on here. I've had this channel since 2011. First of all, you can see it right on my page. I have had this. This is the channel I've had since I basically started on YouTube. I had an account prior, but I started uploading videos. I channel in 2011. But I had to think what I'm on here for is ultimately the troubled teen stuff, and that's what I was planning on doing. But at the same time, I wanted to speak out about this because I don't know, it sparked something in me that I really wanted to speak out about because I didn't like it. And I'm part of this community, and as a member of this community, I have a voice. And I was like, you know what, is this really something I want to do? Do I want to bring this attention on myself? Because I know it will. That's how it works. You're on a public platform, and you talk about other people, you're going to get talked about back. That's how it works. You can't argue with it, and you can't complain about it because that's how it is. There's no way around that. But I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what, I can handle that. Nothing anybody says is gonna hurt my feelings or get me off of here or do anything, because I know who I am and I know who I'm not. And that's just, that it is what it is. So I came on here and I wanted to speak about it. I actually didn't even think I would get as many subscribers as I have. I know that, some people, would laugh at my numbers and do, because they think that it's some sign of me sucking or something. I'm not quite sure why, because I'm not unhappy. Hi, Ronnie Mama. I'm actually shocked that as many people subscribe to me and watch me as they do. I think I'm really honored. I just kind of, I wasn't even going to do this. But people have really enjoyed it and they like what I have to say. And I like the small chats. I like the people that are in here and I like that I see new faces every time. So that's also always great. And I think we have a good thing going here and I'm going to continue with it. And I know I'll get there eventually. I'm not one of those people that's probably going to grow overnight, but that's not what I need to, for my ego. What I need, I have exactly what I need. I have people who really enjoy my channel and I get a lot of positive feedback and, I know I'm doing something right. And that's all that matters to me. That is all that matters. But I understand not wanting a channel. I really had to put a lot of thought into it before I did because it's very real, guys. Like, I like I said, this is not my first social media rodeo. I know about the behind the scenes and I have been very particular in how I do things because of that. And, and I change my course of action every day. Like there's some things that I plan to do. And then I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. And there's a method to my madness, but I do have to get off of here. And I'm sorry. I know Roddy Mom, you just came in. I'm sorry. You're very good on panel though, Ecto Shocker. Like I've said, you have a nice voice to listen to and you come off well. So if you're nervous, I don't think it, I do that too. I forget what I'm saying mid-sentence, but if you don't come off that way is what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't know that from like an outsider listening, because I've heard you on a few panels. I don't think and here's the thing that everybody doesn't, a lot of people don't believe me on. I genuinely don't know people's like past or histories on here. So a lot of the time, like I don't know anything. Like I don't have much experience with a lot of people on here. Until like somebody says something to me and I'm like, I don't know. I don't even care. But like, that's the thing. Like, I'm pretty sure I know it was you. Cause it wasn't even that long ago. It was, might've been on Jess's panel. Like when she, like in November was like the first time I heard you on a panel. Pretty sure it was Jess's. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was you. But yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I mean, people have told me things since and like all this stuff. And I'm just like, you know what, guys, like, let's just all calm down and just relax. And let's all be friends. And who am I talking to? Well, where did it go? There was a comment I was responding to at that. Yeah. And I know I've talked to a few people, like personally about that. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry you feel uncomfortable. But there have been some things. I don't know. It's not that I haven't been in this community for very long. It was you? Yeah. Okay. It was you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know about any of that stuff either. So like when that's just, it is what it is. So, I've not with you in particular, but there's another situation where somebody was there's a lot of people that don't, and they haven't been, but there was one, I did get an email from one person who was a little offended that I had somebody in my chat and I was like, I don't know your history with that person. It's nobody that's in here now on either side of that. But I was like, I don't know your history with that person. Like I can't be expected to know everybody, and everybody's past. I'm doing the best that I can, guys. Like, but if that makes you really uncomfortable, unfortunately, I can't make everybody happy. And I felt bad saying that, but at the same time, I feel like this person is the only one that has an issue with something. I don't know. Neither of them are in here now. But that's the kind of stuff you get as a creator. Like, people feel very strongly and, as a person, you want to make people happy, but a lot of the time you can't. And you'd be surprised how many emails I get and how many, and I'm honored that people feel comfortable reaching out to me. I like that a lot. Sometimes it takes, I apologize if it takes me a while to get back to you. Like, I don't check it as often as I should. And as people know, I like to talk. So I write really long responses. So I actually have to commit to writing it, which I will. But I will get back to people. But I appreciate that. And I feel bad. Like, I want to be able to make everybody happy and comfortable, but I can't always. And if that person's listening, I'm just mentioning this because I don't like it that you're not comfortable here, but at the same time, nobody's being weird in the chat or either. So I would hope they come back, but we shall see. But it's hard to be a creator because a lot of the time, there are tough decisions, how to handle certain things because you want to respect people's free speech and you want to be, open to letting people share what time tonight? That's a good question, Liberty Farmer, because I've been on here a lot longer than I should have. And I need to shut up and be quiet and just leave and get off here and go on with my day, so I can actually be on here. Yeah, there are, Ecto Shocker, you're right. And there are people that, you're never going to be able to please. But that's the thing, as a creator, like sometimes you get put in positions that are like, how do I handle this? Especially like, with me, I'm kind of new to all this. So, some stuff, especially if it's in the chat, takes me by surprise. So like, if I do my best to handle everything with grace, but sometimes I think I miss the mark, and that's part of it's part of what's being a creator, I guess. And I am navigating through it as best that I can. But I've been shocked by the amount of people that have contacted me privately, honestly. And I mean, I'm honored that people feel comfortable talking to me. That's great. And I'm never going to show anybody's anything. I am very about confidentiality. Like, that's something I feel very strongly about. And I'll never use anything anybody says, even if it's to prove my own point, or else it's something that's like, privately, like with the police. But like, I will never be in that situation ever, because I don't do anything that would warrant that. But you know what I mean? Like, that's just not my style. And I can't do that. But everybody runs their channel the way that they do. And that's just how I run mine. Because I feel like a lot of the stuff people send me is very personal. So, that there's that. So, I just feel like it makes people feel like they can't talk to you. And some people just really just need someone to talk to in general. Like, getting a therapist and stuff, it's hard to do sometimes. And, I think people come here for a community, and, some people really just need to say some stuff. Some of it isn't even about YouTube stuff. Some of it's just personal stuff that people need to get off their chest. And, I'm glad that I'm able to be like of some use to them, I guess. And I apologize that I don't get back to people faster. Like, if I don't get back to you, it's not personal. It's that I write really long emails. Anybody who has emailed me will know that. And I have to commit to sitting down and writing it. I can't just shoot off like a short thing. So even if I've read it, it doesn't mean that I don't care or don't like what you said. It's not that at all. It's just that I need to have like a time where I can actually write that email, if that makes sense. I'm glad you like my voice. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I liked all of you guys a lot. I know a lot of these names, a lot of you guys from other channels. And that's what I kind of wanted, was like, just like a chill chat where we could talk about stuff. And, I don't know, just something a little bit more low key. And that's just how I like it. I do. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, this it doesn't have to be an ugly, bad place. Like, everybody's a human being on here, and everyone's entitled to have a bad day, and not everybody has the same values as other people, and it doesn't make them a bad person. It just makes them a different person. And I think subs are going to identify where they identify. And, I like to think subs identify with more than one person and kind of see something that they like somewhere, and I like that. I think that's healthy. But if you just want to watch one channel, that's also your right. I blab on and on and on in my emails. You're right. It's just a stream of consciousness. Like, I can't even text message without that. Yeah, Liberty Farmer. Tonight I will be on 9:30. I'm gonna have to reschedule that, push it a little bit later, because I have just wasted a lot of my day here. Not wasted it, because time isn't wasted when you're having fun. But what I mean is, I have not gotten done some stuff that I really need to get done tonight, and I over-explain everything. I don't know if you have ADD, but if you do, that's actually a very common, my psychiatrist says that's like a very common thing, like, over-explaining. And yeah, because I do that too. I over-explain to the point where it almost makes me look guilty. Like, if I'm trying to, it's bizarre. At least that's what my mom said. What time zone? So Eastern Standard Time. I am in Rhode Island, so Eastern Standard Time. Yes, in the U.S. Yes, I don't know. Time zones confuse me. I don't understand time zones. They're silly. Yes, where it gets dark very early, and it's probably getting dark soon, and that's going to be a problem for what I need to go do. So, I will see you guys tonight. And like I said, bear with me with the time. If I push it back, don't. I will be on here though, between 9:30 at the latest. But I will. That's why I want a community tab so I can keep people, updated. So if you haven't hit that thumbs up, hit that thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? We're good peeps over here. We do fun stuff. We do good stuff, and we're all really, really nice. So that's a plus too. I mean, we're very welcoming. We're a good community, good people. But I'm going to get off of here because I need to go do what I need to do. And somebody needs to use my laptop because they're going to think they're getting away with not doing the work they need to do pretty soon. They probably already think they got away with it. So have a great rest of your day, guys. And I will see you later.